Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 15 of the Imris Saga, Big 1-5. How's everybody doing today? There's lots of talk of soup, other foods
Good.
before we went live.
Yeah,
I'm doing great, especially now that I can see Sean's cat.
Yeah,
This is
the
Ruby, newest addition to the household.
most
She is very
important
good.
member of our cast.
She is not going in the soup, though she does try to eat the soup every time we have it out. She's mischievous. Mwah.
She looks like a stuffed animal. I love her.
Anytime you don't see me move for more than 5 minutes, it's because she's hopped onto my lap and I am now trapped in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Best jail.
I love those animals that look like stuffed animals, but real. Just delightful.
these intros are getting longer and longer. The time that Andrew allows us for tangents at the start of sessions, it's just increasing every single session.
Eventually,
I
it'll just be
consider
all
it-
tangents.
That's right.
I mean, it's just having an intermission session at some point that's just sitting around talking and getting to know each other even better than we already do, answering questions from the audience.
Yeah, if we could do a Q&A thing, that would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
We'd have
one
to have
day.
a more significant audience, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Or everybody could ask questions leading up to it.
Sure, we could. I mean, the first one could just be us asking each other questions.
Yeah.
All right. Quick recap. Last session, you guys fought against the shadow demons that were lurking in the sandstorm, protecting the city, or warding people away from the city of Tal'Losinan. You were able to overcome them, despite some bad rolls and the extreme disadvantage of fighting in a sandstorm. You eventually made it to the city, and weary from your battle, having used up quite a bit of resources, you guys elected to find shelter in the outskirts in one of the kind of decaying houses, where you rested for about half a day, waiting, setting up guard, everything. You did spy a group of hellhounds lurking about, prowling, seemingly patrolling the streets, but they didn't notice you. And the next morning, you all began to explore the city, deciding first to check out the temples, seeing if you could find anything useful there for the rest of the journey. You decided to go to the Temple of Cordell first, since you do have Fort with you, who's a priest of Cordell, where you found a number of interesting things, and we actually left with you guys opening a third secret passageway. You had already had opened two for you, but this one Will had found while investigating this sort of repository hidden crafting room. Alright, so the wall had just slid open and you were coming to a room with it's almost museum-like in the sense that there are a number of pedestals with plaques. Many of them are empty, but there are still a couple with things on them. One in particular kind of stands out immediately because as you bring your light into it, you can see a sort of shimmering reflection on a pair of bracers. They are... They seem to be crafted out of a strange metal that it doesn't, at a glance from your untrained eyes, seem to be mithril or adamantine or something like that. It's silvery, but when the light hits it, it seems to reflect or have almost a rainbow effect on it. Other than that, there is one other item on the pedestals, which is a helmet. Seems to be not carved, but crafted to look like a wolf's head. That seems to be made out of steel, you think, but is also of excellent craftsmanship. There's about 6 other pedestals, but they're all empty. Perhaps they're the items which were placed on them had been taken during the flaying of the city, and these just happened to be left behind. Hard to say.
Look at Ort. and see which one he is kind of like interested in, and then I will go look at the other one.
Or we'll kind of take a look at it. Oh, and saunter up first to the bracers.
I will go look at the helmet.
Okay.
Can I make an Arcana check?
Yeah, go ahead.
God, I forgot how everything works. Where's my character even? I could have clicked it here and now. I've slowed everything
How
down.
deep into this temple is the second or third passageway that we've gone into?
They're all about the same depth. The secret passageways after the first one, but you're about 60 or so feet underground at this point. It was a fairly lengthy staircase.
I got a 17 for the Arcana check.
All right.
Sulveran is going to kind of peek into that whole space, and then he is going to retreat to midway up the staircase, kind of keeping an eye out and an ear out.
Will, as you're looking at it, the helmet is enchanted. You're not able to fully understand what the enchantments do just by looking at them. Your Arcana check is
I
not
will.
quite high enough. Could you also make for me a history check as you're kind of looking over this?
Sure. 26.
Based off of the style and certain things about it, you can tell that it seems to be of old elvish design, predating the fall of the elven kingdoms. So this helmet is even older than the city itself.
Alright, I'll look over at Ort. Is Ort looking like he's going to... it doesn't matter. I'll pull out scroll from in the one of Will's pockets. One of Will's coat pockets. And I'll start trying to read a scroll of identify.
Okay.
So I have to make an ability check, right?
Arcana check, yeah.
An Arcana check?
Or yes, you're right. An ability, intelligence, or charisma for you.
Charisma, because it's part spell.
Yeah.
I succeeded in casting a level 1 scroll.
Okay. You're casting identify?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the helmet.
Right. Let me just...
I had the option to copy identify into my wizard spellbook and always have it, and I chose to use the scroll right now.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows that. I could have had this spell forever.
You were
but I don't like identify.
too interested in finding out what this
I
is.
don't like identify. I feel like it means that you always know everything. I liked the occasional time that Uber might put on a ring and find out that it's cursed.
Okay. Scroll up the description. I had moved away from it because you failed the roll.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say something in defense of
There you
Uba
go.
and their proclivity for putting on rings, and then I realized there was nothing to say.
Yeah, there's no defense there.
It's the same as if we find a cursed javelin, Medea's just going to pick it up. Can be like, javelin, mine.
To be fair, with most cursed items, they say this can't be found by identify. What are you supposed to do?
Well, maybe it's just a bad one. Maybe it's a -2 and it makes all of your other javelins are bad, but it's not cursed. And you just never know that that's why you're failing things.
It's true. Curses are one of those things in the game that I feel like is very DM dependent, that run from extremely fun to this is a thinly failed gotcha, you know?
I think normally my experience with Andrew is that it would be a curse that afflicts you with something rather than does something like, your face turns into the face of a dwarf now.
You melt. That's what the curse is.
Yeah, right. I did suggest the worst outcome of those two. Having your face turn into a dwarf face is worse than melting. Medea with a dwarf face would be very funny.
Yeah.
No, Sulveran, because of how big Sulveran.
I think the funniest one to get it would definitely be Will, to me at least.
Yeah.
Uba.
But I
Put
feel like
it
it
off.
fits Uba somehow.
Okay. So
On the end of that long lizard-like neck.
Yeah.
this is a helmet of the ancient kingdom of Yalthir. I don't think the identifier doesn't tell you very much about the history of the item, but you seem to understand that also from your history check. This helmet allows the wielder to the wearer, once attuned, to see creatures that are invisible.
Ooh.
Additionally, it grants you a +2 bonus to initiative checks. These things from your history check were worn by sort of ancient justicars, seekers of truth, upholders of justice. They were used to, a lot of times, to hunt down mages, actually. Or other such people who cast arcane magic and used it for not the best reasons.
It takes Will a
It
while.
lets you
to
see
cast
invisibility out. What is it?
Yes, that's probably relevant.
Yeah.
I just
As if
wrote
they were
allows the wearer to
visible.
see invisible creatures.
And you can,
And then-
it works like see invisibility, and you can see into the ethereal plane. Ethereal creatures and objects appear ghostly and translucent. While you're doing that, or is kind of looking over the braces, going, "Ooh, these are very nice, very nice." Do we have time for me to identify?
Will just like while reading the scroll for a minute, like waves a positive sign.
Okay. And he'll sit down. It takes him longer because he has to actually do it as a ritual.
Could waste a spell slot, I suppose.
He doesn't have it prepared normally.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because why would
Will's
you
gonna take
do
Will's
that
gonna
if
take
you
a
think
long
you might
time
be in a fight?
trying to decide whether to just straight up offer it to Alveron or Uber, because I think Will realizes that those are the two that would benefit the most from seeing invisible creatures, given that I think Will probably knows that Medea has some form of non-sightly sense. But after like 5 minutes, because it takes him 11 minutes to pass the ritual.
Yes.
Yeah, after like 5 minutes, I think we'll go over the. This is a helmet. It basically lets you see invisible creatures, and you'll react a little bit faster. And like holds it out by one hand, like a face, alternating between Alveron and Uber, and then turns it quickly towards Sulveran, like looking at Sulveran, but then back to those two. I'm quite weak, and this is not an unheavy helmet. Just.
I think that Uba definitely, from a shininess perspective, wants it, but recognizes that it would probably be better for Alveron, especially because Uba already has too many items that they're attuned to, so they're going to kind of reluctantly shrug and say, I think it might be best for Alveron, plus my hunter's mark helps me find things when I can't see them. And then, like, dramatically looks away as if they're, like, regretting it, but it's like, no, take it.
It's like a push in on Uber's face of, like, sorrow.
My God.
Take it before I change my mind.
Wow.
Yes.
No, Alveron will definitely like the whole see invisible creatures thing. It's just so the demons and the spirits, they'll be visible.
You'll be able to see anything that's gone, like, that's using a thing that lets them be invisible. You'll be able to see. Also, you'll be able to see into the ethereal plane. So if there is anything ethereal, you'll see that they look like ghosts. Well, not
Sulveran's
like
going to nod at Alveron and point out.
You can probably choose to turn it off.
Yeah.
Alveron will take
Yeah.
it and then
It's not. It doesn't have to be an always-on thing.
Oh, I prefer it to be an always-on thing, but I like that Will is like, oh yeah, you just wear the helmet, Alveron. Like, I understand you have reticence, but we don't have the time for this reticence right now.
I'm trying to sleep, but Uncle Iroh's spirit realm keeps following me everywhere I go.
It does require attunement. I don't know if I said that, but just so you know.
Yeah.
You did, yes. So, how long is it take a short rest to do so?
Yes, it takes a short rest to attune to something, which would be
Okay.
about an hour.
Okay. Well, then I guess at the next, is there any impact on AC from this as well, or is it just the initiative and C invisibility?
It's just the initiative and C invisibility.
Okay, gotcha.
You also don't, once you're attuned to it, you don't, strictly speaking, have to have it on at all times.
Okay, fascinating. Okay.
Kind of like the idea of you wearing both the helmet and the hat, and then using the hat to disguise the existence of the helmet.
You change the helmet into a different animal's
True.
head.
There
It's
we
a
go.
bear now. I have to be right back and get some tissues. Sorry.
Sure, that's okay. After some time, Ort will say, "Oh, yeah, these are interesting. I can't really use them though. So, I don't know if one of you wants some for now."
What are they? What?
But these, are you familiar with the bracers of defense?
Ooh.
These are like those, but better.
Oh.
These are bracers made out of orichalcum. It's a very rare alloy that you don't really see anymore because nobody really knows how to make it. It's from the ancient Elvish kingdoms. They're enchanted, so they give you a bonus to your defense, but only you can't really use them effectively when you're wearing armor or a shield. You have to use the bracers to defend. Yeah, so he looks down at his plate mail. I can't, but if one of you wants to use them.
Does it stack with mage armor?
No, it doesn't stack with mage armor.
Okay, I missed, like, if he explained how good it is, I missed it.
They're bracers of defense +1, so it's a +3 bonus to AC if you're not wearing armor or shield.
Damn, we don't have a barbarian or a.
I mean, that's still an upgrade for me.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'll take them for a while.
Okay, here you go.
Will puts them into the bag of holding until we have it. Do they require attunement?
They do require attunement.
I'm just gonna imagine Ort for the rest of my life saying the requirements of magic items.
Alright, I'll deal with it when you come to a short rest.
Oh, there's some other magic in there, but a simple identify spell wasn't enough to determine it. I don't think they're cursed though. I think it's just the magic isn't easily accessible by a
Can I make an
novice.
Arcana check on them
Sure.
with this additional knowledge?
While you're doing that, Uba's gonna kind of scowl at Ort and say, "You don't think it's cursed, or you know it's not cursed," and is like stepping away from the
90%
bracers.
not cursed.
Andrew, that's a 28.
Yeah, you're looking over them. The metal is definitely very strange to you. I think you might have missed it. I mentioned they're made out of orichalcum, which is a very rare alloy that nobody really knows how to make anymore, but was used by the ancient elves. You're looking over them. Certainly, you could see the abjurative sorts of magic that would lend themselves to bringing braces of defense, braces that defend you. But you also see the schools of magic that I always need.
Yeah, and then you get to tell me the schools of magic that I always forget.
I know.
Necromancy.
pair.
That's the one
What a
that's
team.
healing.
Okay. There's also layered on here, which you wouldn't expect on just something that was braces of defense. Evocation magic. And
That is the healing school.
Evocationals are known for their heal.
And transmutation magic.
Oh my god, they can turn you into a living fireball. I've cracked it.
With a 28, you can tell it seems to be some kind of enhancement boosting effect to, you think, magical abilities. You think that this would probably be used by some kind of spellcaster, although the exact mechanism and function is clear just from looking at the runes.
Will looks over it and says to Ord, I think it's probably something to do with a magical casting ability. Who knows? Maybe I'll attune to it and all of the secrets of the known impart themselves into my brain.
Could
Cordell's
be.
braces of knowledge.
Would be. I know that orichalcum was often used in items that mages would wear, arcanists of all different stripes, because it was said to be particularly malleable to the weaves of arcane energy, which also makes them not really for me, because if I cast cleric spells,
Will
they'll hold them out to you.
Will takes them.
They're pretty light. You were expecting them to be maybe a little bit heavier, but they're, despite being very beautiful, they're actually rather simple in form. They're not like super, like intricately crawling up the arm. Like if you look at the pictures of brace of defense, they don't look quite like that. They're basically just what's it called? Scales. Scaled bracers that wrap all the way around basically your whole forearm for you.
Cool.
And each
I will
individual
put that-
scale is marked with different runes.
Alright. Well, I think we've probably exhausted the secret rooms. Oh, well, I should check. Let's check if there's another secret room.
Okay. You give it a thorough look.
Do you want me to roll?
Well, I was just expecting you to.
I just assumed that so little was here. Well,
Yeah.
that's a one.
You give it a cursory glance through, not really expecting to find anything extra, and you don't. So perhaps that was because you thought that you wouldn't, therefore didn't try very
Yeah, just
hard.
the assumption of failure.
Yeah.
We should probably move on to one of. Are we going to check all the temples? Will kind of asks the group.
Well, I think if we're after the teleporting thing, we want to disable that. We should probably just get on with it.
Uba kind of looks confused for a second and says, I'm not much of the temple type, but do you think any of these other temples might have anything that we would need, or should we just get on with it?
Well,
I think
go ahead, Joey.
I think if any something religiously and maybe perhaps immediately useful, it might be Sil. Her temple likely has the most things in hand.
Will nods and looks at Sulveran and says, would you like to find the Temple of Mordain, or
Sulveran kind of pauses, looks at the group. I would not mind it. And he's didn't you mention that we'd seen the Temple of Mordain as we walked through, Andrew?
I believe I did. Definitely
Yeah.
in that row, so.
Yeah. I feel like he gestures back at it. But I should not like to take away from, and he makes a grand gesture towards that center of the area, the mission, as it were.
I mean,
We don't
I'm
really have a.
visiting a temple of your deity, especially one that's been without worship for so long. It shouldn't take us that much time, and this was a profitable little endeavor here. The voice is somewhat muffled through the wolf mask.
That's
I,
right.
th- I think if we're going to be uncovering the secret of a lost city and venturing through the halls of once dead people's city that now sleeps, Mordain and Syl both adequate temples to visit.
Also, we don't really have a time limit for the other. We could stay here for really as long as we want, and we need to find out how many demons are will gestures towards the center area. Assuming that we're having this conversation a little bit further up.
Andrew, I'm not talking up my ass that one of Syl's things is both like having secrets and revealing them, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. I think if we are going to find something hidden in the city that would uncover it, I would like to ask Syl in her temple for guidance.
I think Uba is going to pipe up now, and they're kind of like wringing their hands together and say, technically we have as much time as we want, but there are at least 2 of those wolf beasts running around here, and I don't know if we should be wasting time. Perhaps we should split up. Even though out of character, I would never do that, but Uba thinks it's a good idea.
I should also. I'm pretty sure you saw like 4, not 2. There's like a small pack.
Oh, I thought there were only 2. Okay, so yeah.
I would oppose splitting. I think if either group would be caught off guard, they'd be in much danger. The moment we have safety in numbers.
Certainly, the extra hour or so it would take to search Mordain's temple and then go to search Syl's, I don't think would be an unnecessary use of our time.
It's definitely not a
Agreed.
waste.
Uba sighs but says, I guess I'm outvoted. Let's go, and starts like marching towards
Yeah.
the door.
God.
Does
Will
Uba seem?
Sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
Does Uba seem pleased that they don't have to split up?
I think they're more annoyed at the idea of wasting time because they, I don't know, they don't find as much worth in temples as everyone else does. But they're like, let's go, chop chop.
I think Will falls in beside Zoom. I think splitting up would have been fine, but whichever group is without us is at a disadvantage.
Uva says, that's right, and puffs out their chest.
Will has an internal debate that lasts the next few minutes about whether or not it's acceptable to manipulate someone with their ego so much. It doesn't really come down on a side. It's I feel bad about myself now.
Right.
But I think Mordain's temple first because it's smaller.
Sulveran, when we check Mordain's, do you want to look around it, or do you simply want to pray at it? Pray or
Sulveran is just going to stare at Medea and then point back at the temple they just left. Not to insist that my lady would have anything left behind for me, but if she did, I would be a fool not to check.
perhaps she could help us appeal to the restless spirits left in the city.
Perhaps. Or perhaps she'll put in another good word for me with Syl. And he kind of gestures between the two of them because the last time they were in the desert under the moonlight, it was largely due to Syl. He feels that he did not die. So he's marching pretty confidently on towards the Temple of Mordain. I'm assuming that he saw it and recognized it back when Andrew first narrated.
I love how Sulveran treats the gods like work references or supervisors.
I still have so many questions about Medea's rant about gods not being trustworthy, but then suggesting that Syl will reveal the way. But those questions are for another time.
Yeah.
Campfire talk. Get drunk. Interrogate.
Sorry, there's a lot of back and forth there. Is it Mordain or Syl first?
Mordain first.
Mordain
The
first. got
smaller
it.
temple.
Okay. So you head out of the Temple of Cordell back into this sort of courtyard area where the majority of the temples, it seems, in the city are located. Glancing about, the sun is high in the sky now. It is starting to get a little bit warm. You glance about and you quickly cross, making your way over towards the Temple of Mordain. You can see that, much like the Temple of Cordell, many statues and icons, symbols have been defaced. The statues have had arms, heads, eyes gouged out, different things taken off. Symbols have been slashed at, battered, thrown to the ground, just laying there in wreck and ruin.
Is this on all of the temples, or is this particular to Mordain's?
No, it seems you're not in all of them, but it seems like all of them had this treatment. Certainly Cordell's did, in addition to this one. And it definitely doesn't seem like just normal decay. It seems like active, like this was done at some point. Although you think a long time ago, just based off of the weathering that's happened since then.
Are we able to distinguish, like, does it look like they were destroyed with tools, or does it look like claws? Are there scratches in the stone type stuff?
Yeah.
Essentially trying to figure out if it was human hands who desecrated them or like demons coming in after the fact.
If you have Mason's tools, I would say that's probably the best skill to use. If not, I would accept a nature investigation check, something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna say navigator's tools probably don't help me on this one.
No, unfortunately not.
But I'm sorry. You said investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the best one.
Yeah, no, either of those are intelligence with no, so we'll go for it. It's
17.
You just roll good.
Certainly some of them, as you're looking at it, you think were done not by weapon, but by claws. Whether claws or talons or bites, but definitely done with more natural weapons rather than swords or axes or something like that. Although you think the majority of it was done with swords and axes, just based off looking about.
Gotcha.
Some of them, you note, like where certain pillars have been kind of knocked down, look like they were just done by a large creature with a hefty shoulder.
Okay, just kind of musing on that as we're moving along. Would it be advantageous to have one of us like scout ahead, not like splitting up, but one of the sneaky people moving ahead slightly as we're moving towards the temple, just to see, I mean, especially with these roving packs around, we don't want us getting surprised by them.
Sure. Probably not a bad idea to scout.
Okay.
Why don't you go on then?
Do we still have passive trace?
Yeah, I have one. I can do pass without a trace one more time.
I meant, is it still within the hour that we left before?
Oh,
No, not
Because we
after
did
all the
cross-
casting and the amount of time it took you to get here. It's
Oh yeah,
probably
11
up by
minutes
now.
identified.
Yeah.
We'll
Also the
look at Uber and
deliberations
says,
and
maybe you and Alveron should go together. Then, if something does happen, not just
Uba looks a little bit skeptically at Alveron, but is like, okay, and is gonna cast Pass Without a Trace.
Oh, okay.
Will did not mean that, but puts away the like the fiddle that she had pulled out to give bardic inspiration to both of you. You don't need both those things.
Uba doesn't get sarcasm very much.
Okay, interesting.
I think
well,
recalling their conversation in the garden before Uba slips away with Alveron, Sulveran is going to give Uba a very slow nod and like a wink that he doesn't try to conceal at all. He is like facing just Uba, but and not Alveron, but it's very much a yes. I remember what you said in the garden about not trusting Alveron.
Uba will roll their eyes back and then is like kind of like pushing Alveron like towards the temple, like let's go, let's go.
Can I roll a medicine
Alright,
check
moving.
and see what's wrong with Sulveran's eye?
God.
Nothing wrong with it, just weird.
Weird eye. Will files that away.
Sulveran has a eye infection or a lazy eye.
Something
Could
like
be
that.
both.
Nobody's ever got a hard working ass day.
Okay, go ahead and make some stealth checks for the people who are stealthing. The
Okay.
stealths.
Hooray.
All right, 26
That's
and
without trace.
32.
Yep.
The two of you stealth up into the Temple to Mordain, kind of listening, hearing the sound of wind outside. Moving through it, you come to a large chamber. You think once that there was a large statue in the center of it, but that has been knocked over, and it's mostly just rubble down at the floor. You can see as you look about bones here and there, long dead humanoids, and perhaps demons even, some strange creatures that don't look quite right. Either one of you could make me a religion check if you want to more clearly identify what these creatures are.
I don't think Uba would know, but they're gonna get busy trying to take one of the teeth from one of the demon bones because they think it would make a cool treasure.
It comes away freely and slightly, even just like the effort to pull it away chips it. They seem brittle from age.
Alveron is definitely just like taking care to not step on bones, just sword out, just fanning around. What's our illumination like at the moment?
It's not bad because there are a couple holes in the roof, which like some beams of sunlight down in, and most of the buildings here have a bit of an open floor plan, or at least lots of areas for cross breezes. So there's a fair bit of light in here during the day.
Okay.
As you're looking about, you can see that there is an area in the back, which seems to go out to sort of a wild area, almost like a garden. It's hard to tell. Other than that, here there is a staircase leading downwards, but it's actually a fairly small place.
I think Uba's going to like kind of creep over to the top of the stairs and listen and see if they can hear anything.
Okay.
And they're gonna like motion to Alveron to be quiet too.
Go ahead and make a perception check. Okay, as you walk over and listen and wait, a moment passes and you hear at first it's like the sound almost of the wind, but there can't be any wind down there. You listen, it's almost like an indrawn breath and an exhale.
I think Uba, like, their kind of like spines on their back almost are gonna kind of like puff up because they're like nervous, and they're gonna kind of gesture to Alveron, indicating like there's something down there. It's like frantically pointing at the stairs.
Kind of nod and then just immediately check the ceilings within the room that we're in or within the space that we're in, and then just kind of make the motion to Uba of back the way we came, come back with the group.
Did it sound like whatever this breath was came from something large?
It did sound like a larger creature.
Okay, yeah, Uba's gonna be like, yep, let's go. Is gonna hurry out as quickly as they can without stepping on the bones and making any noise.
Right. The rest of you see these two kind of retreat back to where you're standing a little bit outside of the temple.
I think that Uba will kind of hurry up to the middle of the group and say, it looks like there were the remains of some sort of maybe battle or something, demon bones and human bones, but there's definitely something in the basement of the temple and it sounds big. And they're like, as they're talking, they're like kind of trying to like back away from the temple. Nope.
Did it sound big, like too big to get up those stairs, or did it sound like just kind of huge and
kind of bigger than a
still make it
person?
to that
The
passage?
staircase was, not tiny. So a large creature could fit, although it might be a bit of a squeeze, depending on how wide they are.
Is it possible to tell? Are the temples no longer considered holy ground?
Believe that Medea checked the Temple of Cordell and found that it was not consecrated. It hadn't been desecrated, but it wasn't consecrated anymore.
Yeah, Medea, like, okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Did it sound? So Sulveran's just kind of like casually drop a hand down to keep Uba from retreating too far, just sort of like a bracing sort of clap on the back. Did it sound larger than the dragon we felled?
Uba's gonna pause for a second and say, probably not. I don't think it would have been able to fit down there.
All right.
Should we get rid of it? He's profaning a temple.
Uba says, I don't really care much for the temple, but I would rather get rid of it before it gets rid of us. They pull out their dagger.
I'm not a fan of them. Demon was in my house, my neighbor. Deal with it.
I can respect that. What else? I'm just trying to think. Like prep.
Will is just looking at Sulveran to see what Sulveran's reaction is to something in the temple of their god.
Aside from having clapped Uba on the shoulder to keep them from running off, he hasn't said much. He is looking towards the temple, but then he is just going to turn slowly back to Will. If it is a demon, it seems it is rather our business.
Okay. Is there any way that we can try to reduce the noise of the conflict to try to avoid drawing out the hellhounds?
And Magic?
Yes, I can do
Hoping that
that.
they don't hear,
I can
hoping
do
that they don't hear, in the downstairs area.
I can muffle the sound around the fight. Just the once, though.
Hmm.
And only maybe.
Well,
And also, probably not if I get punched in the face.
Andrew, I don't know if there's some sort of intelligence. Would I be able to tell, like, how far sound would travel, or sorry, like, how acoustically far the temple would carry sound out of it?
You have no idea what the space down there looks like, so you couldn't
No,
possibly
I
hope
mean,
to
like,
figure that out.
like the upper.
Even then, you don't know how loud the battle's going to be, so again, I don't think there's a way for you to possibly figure that out.
Would
Go ahead.
Would its shape be one that enhances the sound coming out of it? Like just the basic shape of the structure, or one that minimizes sound leaving?
I think it's a neutrally built structure.
Okay.
But again, it's down a set of stairs, so you really have no idea how that's going to affect the sound without going into the building. You haven't even been inside the building.
Yeah.
Sulveran's going to ask Uba and Alveron. The staircase. Could you describe the staircase itself and the surrounding? Is it directly into the ground, or is there a doorway?
I don't know. Is there a doorway, Andrew?
Yes, it was a doorway that contained a staircase leading down. It was a stone staircase, stone doorway. You didn't really go much into it, so weren't sure beyond that.
Alright, and so then the stone doorway into the stairwell is like on a stone wall, I'm assuming?
Yes.
So it's almost like a closet with a staircase in it.
Yeah, that would be unfair to say.
Okay.
Uba will say, perhaps if we're ready, my spell will last a few more minutes. We could use it to sneak up on the creature. It sounded like it was just breathing. Maybe it's asleep.
If we have a few minutes further, Sulveran is going to, after having heard the description of the doorway, he's going to chuckle, and he's going to say, so question, outside of character here. Liamon's tiny hut, fitting inside the dome and passing through the dome. There's no doorway. The dome is permeable to people, right?
I think I know where you're going with this. Let me read the spell description so I can answer you clearly.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is permeable, but if you were to leave that area, it would disappear.
Got it.
So if you wanted to use it like to block escape or something like that, then you would have to stay in the hut.
Okay. So once you exit the hut is no longer intact.
Correct.
Okay. And it's just because this isn't like particularly illustrated in the spell itself, other than until the spell ends, and that it's an 8-hour spell. If anybody that I have dictated is occupying it, or is it have to be Sulveran that is within it?
It has to be you.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. If you leave the hut, you can no longer enter the hut. The hut forms around the group and is not accessible from outside. Is the way the spell works.
But also, the spell has a clause in it that it ends if you leave its area. So everybody else could leave. The hut will remain as long as Sulveran is within that 10-foot dome.
Got it. Okay, yeah, that was being cropped by the way the size that I had my character sheet.
Yeah,
I see that
now. Let
now.
me just read the thing out for everybody. The spell fails if its area includes larger creature A larger creature or more than 9 creatures. Creatures and objects within the dome when you cast the spell can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magic effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere is blah, 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 blah. Opaque from outside. Where's the bit? I just read it again.
It's in the top section.
Yeah, it's the bit with
Yeah,
if
the
you leave
spell
its area
ends
that
if
was
you
being
leave
cropped
its
out.
area.
Yeah.
And it's a 10-foot
Also-
radius.
Unrelated but very funny. If somehow you got knocked unconscious inside your tiny hut, it's not concentration. So your tiny hut remains, and you can't dismiss it by any
Ooh.
because it's not concentration.
Yeah.
So the only way the hut disappears is if you leave this area for 8 hours.
Nice.
Or the 8 hours
Got
go
it.
by.
Yeah. It's a very interesting spell in terms of how it's.
Well, you have to be able to sleep in it, right? So it can't
Yeah.
be concentration.
All right then. Carry on. I just wanted to check into that.
No.
Alright, we should go kill this demon then.
All right.
We're determined to. I'm going to. Would it be efficient to throw aid on the party? Or... Awesome character. Alveron and Ubat. I could give you magical enhancements, but would deplete my ability to do, or rather make it harder for me to kill this demon in the future. But it would make
Your
you safe.
spite is very important.
Yeah, Uba says that's a pretty cool thing. I wouldn't want to take away from that.
Right, I will save it.
Sulveran is going to look at Uva and Alveron and ask, well, given that I assume you're refusing to help so that they might be more efficient in battle, I will say that it is not generally my combat prowess that makes me useful. And he will go ahead and cast aid on them.
Okay.
I have
What
kept it. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what does aid do for us again?
It is hit point max current 5 for the both of you
I'll put the spell.
and Medea.
Cool.
Thank you.
Uh,
I was trying
Will
to make
is-
it click and I need to hit refresh.
Will is crouching down in front of Keller, talking to Keller. What happened to our horses? This is my question.
They're still there.
They never considered. We're just riding our horses through the streets.
I just
Um,
assumed that you've gotten off them and kind of parked them in a hidden spot. And I'm not going to worry about it too much.
Yeah, we parked them.
In an
I did-
alleyway.
A car lot.
Put a tarp over them.
How much do the
You could have
meters?
left them back at the house as well. Like,
Well,
That's
we weren't
sensible.
sure we remember. Will wants to talk to Keller and say, all right, we're going to go and do adventure thing.
okay.
When we get into the temple, you're going to be our lookout. So you have to do 2 things. You have to hide in the main area just inside the door. You have to tell us, 3 things. Got that hiding's one of them, but you're so good at that already. You got to keep an eye out. If you see anything coming, you run down the direction we came and let us know. But most importantly, you're going to tell us how loud what we're doing. So when we come back up, if it was very, very loud, you're going to tell us that it was very loud.
Okay. Tell you if it's loud. Tell you if anything comes. Okay.
Great. And then I'll give her my rapier. Here, have this. We've done no training with this weapon.
Okay. I'm ready.
I'm going to as well switch my spear into it.
I'm also giving Keller Bardic Inspiration. Or in case anything comes up.
Just in case. Go.
Alright, let's go.
All right.
Let's
Yeah.
Kind of wait for Uber and Alveron to lead the way to the thing that they said they found.
Yeah.
yeah. Do we
that.
want to try and sneak up to this thing, or?
I mean, we still have Pass Without Trace, so
Yeah, that
we
should
all
be
have
good for
pretty
us.
high stealth right now.
It's true.
But we're trying to steal. To sneak. Not steal. Steal.
I
Deal.
think if that's the case,
You
Uba's
mocking
gonna
my
start.
accent?
No.
Uba's gonna start marching towards the temple very determinedly. It's like this way. Come on.
Why does Uba always walk like they have background music playing for them?
Maybe they do in their head.
That's the thing. Uber's the protagonist, so every time they walk, it has to
This is
And-
true.
climactic thing. So are we all stealthing towards the breathing sound that you heard? God, I hope this is
Yeah.
nothing. I hope this is something that sounds like
Maybe
breathing.
it's like
Just-
a
A
big
bellows.
friendly dog.
Just so
Oh,
you know
it's
as
just a-
well, because Pass Without a Trace was cast, and then Alveron and Uba went away, it would not apply to the whole group anymore. It would just apply to Alveron and Uba.
Oh.
Should we go ahead of everyone then?
Oh,
I
that
don't know if
sounds
it's going
good.
to help in that sense. I mean, it'll just help our roles, but we're also not really the ones who need it as much.
Yeah, that's true, actually. And I don't have any. I can't cast it anymore, so I guess we're just gonna march on in there.
Let's go. Fuck it. Let's sneak on in.
Alright. I mean, we should still try and be stealthy, but be stealthy as a group that is bad at being stealthy.
Yeah. How would a group role like that work, actually, Andrew?
We always do group roles. That
I basically do it based off of the number of successes and failures.
All right.
So
Which is the
we'll have like
given
2
thing.
guaranteed successes from you two, and then the rest of us
Watch us both get ones.
gotta hope.
A guaranteed fail
Lord.
from.
Let's see this. Oh, okay. Good. Like, it's not
Alright.
terrible.
Ugh.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
And come on, you can do it. That was
It's
supposed to be a
technically
disadvantage. I
not
ran
an
an
iron.
advantage. It's 4.
Oh.
Uba
Four.
and-
Sulveran is as stealthy.
Why is Sulveran at disadvantage?
Because they're both wearing heavy
Arch.
armor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, if you had
I've
put on
never
that
seen a
myth
party
roll.
so. I've never seen a party so punished by a disadvantage on stealth. I think we are.
Wait.
It's
Uba and
fine, we're all
Alveron
doing
still
great.
have. Uba and Alveron still are passed without a trace, right?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
We need one from Ort still.
Yes.
The most
Oh,
the
yeah.
sneakiest of the sneaky.
I'm setting up the thing. He also has disadvantage.
Yeah.
And last session, Sulveran tucked the mithril armor into his pack rather than equipping it.
Yeah, I mean that's
Oof, bug goof.
4 out of 10.
I mean, none of the rules are terrible.
maybe I should take stealth just to like level this group roll up.
As soon as I can get mithril plate, I'm going.
As soon as I can spend 10,000 gold on an armor.
Yeah.
I think that's probably low for mithril plate. I don't know how much that costs.
Okay. Okay. So you enter into the temple without issue, approaching to the staircase where the creatures seem to lie, and they don't seem to wake. Sulveran, you are making quite a long noise as you move the bones of your armor, kind of jostle against each other, clacking as you walk. And Ort's plate mail occasionally kind of it glances against. There's a bit of a scraping sound, a bit of a jingle as he tries to step slowly and carefully, but it's still making some noise. You guys get to the staircase, and for the moment after arriving at the staircase, you don't seem to have been noticed. You pause, and Uba, you can hear the breathing sound still happening.
Okay.
Are you all going to go down at the same time? Having gotten there. Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I don't think setting down.
What is the order? So this staircase is wide enough that you could do, 2x2. It's not 2x2, but 2 people in a line, basically.
Would it make a difference if Alveron and Upa went first, since they're the stealthiest, or
It would.
is it?
It would change if the group stealth has failed. It would change when the enemies react to that.
I think because we were considering stealth as like a possibility, then I think Uber, Alveron, Medea, Sulveran. No, Medea, Ord, and then Sulveran will it.
I'm fine with that order.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Plus, with the glaive, it's like hitting of Uba.
Say again?
You stab over Uber's head all the time.
So I have Alveron, Uba, Medea, Ort, Will, Sulveran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to have my short bow out for this, too, at this point.
Will doesn't draw a weapon because she gave it to a 10.
Okay, Alveron and Uba, you get to the bottom of the staircase without issue. The others kind of just a little bit behind you, heading up. As you glance about, you can see you're in a small chamber that has various kind of. As you look at them as you enter, they're kind of like cloth sacks, like something's being tied up. You pause for a moment, realizing that these are probably dead bodies, or at least they were. They're probably bones by now. There's many of them in this room, but as you glance over, you see a large creature. It's kind of curled up. It seems to have been asleep. It has large wings on it, like a bird-like beak and mouth, long taloned fingers, and sharp claws on its feet. It is stirring as you get into the room. I'm going to go ahead and move us to the map. Alveron, I should have asked this. Who's got lights on? It is dark down here. But I think you would have known that before you got down to the bottom.
Okay. In that case, then as we descended, or as it became clear that it would be dark, Sulveran would have directed the crew to stow their lights and made a invocation to Syl to bring the eyes of night upon all of them. Even those who already have dark vision, because I think it boosts dark vision a bit, and I'm presenting that on the screen.
Well, that makes that easier.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've got any use out of Eyes of Night.
It might be,
That's
because
pretty
usually we're facing invisible things.
Yeah, normally things make it dark in the middle of.
All right, so Uba and Alveron, you get a second to move as the creature is stirring before we actually are going to roll for initiative. The others aren't able to see it before this happens, so they're still going to do normal initiative. But you two were stealthy enough, you were ahead, you can move yourself. You won't get an attack because it's not technically a surprise round, but you can move your full movement to another spot in the room. Assuming you all can see.
I can see, but on my end, it looks like there's 2. Are there 2?
There is 2. You saw this one first. If you glance
great.
over there, it's because your vision is larger than I was initially expecting. So you can also see another one. There's kind of the room is slightly separated. It's not like a doorway. It's just like a little bit separate. There's another one off in that other area, the sort of second part of that room.
These things, do they look like demons?
Yes.
Can we see them?
You two, I think, are.
We can't.
I can. Yeah, I can see.
Positioning wise, I know because the map is flat on a plane. It says you can see them, but positioning wise, you probably wouldn't be able to see them. Certainly, Will can.
Okay. Well then.
Okay.
I think Uba might gesture to Alveron that there's a second one and kind of do this wild pantomime of like, you get the one on your side, I'll get the one on my side.
You definitely don't have time to do that. This is like a
Oh, I
gut
don't.
reaction. You're seeing them, they're getting ready to get up, and you have a second to move.
Okay.
Move and attack, or just
Certainly
move?
don't have enough time to pantomime something.
Darn.
Just move.
Just move, I think.
I love. All right, 3 words, 7 syllables.
A
3
lot
words,
charade.
you take
Yeah.
that one. You just like try and one-shot the... That's fine.
I think that you said we have time to move, but not to attack.
That's correct, yeah. This is basically a positioning thing. It's allowing the people in front of you to kind of be able to move up more quickly. You can spread out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Uba's gonna make a sprint towards the one that's on their side. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
you-
if I can
Lord.
make it. Let me check.
Move your token.
Uwe, from there's something scary down there to charge.
Uba says, I'm gonna get it before it gets me.
I feel like Uber would be such an interesting character if they were either a rogue or paladin that had like nuke damage, where you could
Yeah.
just like stab. It's funny.
That's just fucking.
I will. Do the bodies, Andrew, create like an impediment? Like if I move over the burlap stacks, am I going to be like on
It is difficult terrain.
plugged up terrain? Yeah.
There aren't as many rats in
That
here
is-
as the map would suggest. As well, it might be worth
But is there
mentioning.
cover?
Trying to remove rats from a map is hard.
Okay. Yeah. All right, that's a decent line of sight. I'm not worried about that. Oh God, how do I get rid of that now? Okay. All right. If I just move down and take the diagonal spot to here, that gives everyone room to get down, and then I'm just, I guess, gonna post up over the body drawn and just allowing people to cycle in behind me right here. So I'm using it as kind of a improvised weapon stand to shoot from.
Okay. All right. Everybody behind you see Alveron and Uba kind of dash into action, and that's when we're rolling initiative.
Did you move your thing?
I thought this was going to be my moment, and I rolled a 5.
What did I roll?
I mean, Ort got a 2.
Was my moment, though. I am ready to defend this temple.
Man,
You
Sulveran,
rolled an 8.
still below Uba.
Yeah, that low dex.
Oh no, I just realized what these things are.
All right, Uba, it is your turn first.
Okay,
So you've moved up to it already. You're just like ready to attack. It's getting up, starting to like unfurl its wings.
yeah, Uba's ready to throw hands, so they're gonna do Hunter's Mark first.
Right.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll already, but that's
That's
fine.
okay. We'll keep that.
So they're gonna cast Hunter's Mark on this thing, and there's like a little. It's almost like a laser light, but it's gold. Has popped up on the creature, and Uba's eyes go wide as they're like, "Look at this shiny gold thing." And then they're gonna use their dagger. Roll twice. Also, does this count as a fiend?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So anything that hits is going to get +2 for me. 'Cause they're my favorite.
First one
enemy
is a
order.
hit. The second one is a miss.
Okay, so let me do D6. No, I already rolled D6. Okay.
Yeah. So you do 13 points of damage to the creature.
+2 because it's a fiend, right?
15
That's
points
what
of
you said.
damage to the creature. Oh no. Yeah, 15.
I meant to move right next to it when I did that, so I'm there now. And that's all I can do.
Running in, you stab it in the arm with this dagger, pull back, go to stab it again, but by that time it's kind of awake and ready. It kind of bats its wings a little bit and moves out of your way as the dagger flies by. Sulveran, is then going to be your turn. You hear the sounds of battle beneath you. You can hear these creatures' wings flapping. They're making shrieking rah, rah, sounds.
Okay, hold on, there we go. I really wanted to go the wrong way. Alright. Alright, so Sulveran is gonna step out far enough that he can get a good view of everything.
You actually now notice there are 3 of these creatures as you've moved into the room.
Alright, he is going to call out to Medea as... can I do that like as a free sort of thing if he calls out to Medea and indicates where he sees the critters?
You can say stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and so he is just going to draw Medea's attention by calling their name and just point at each corner of the room. And then... let's see. I can just... Alright, so... just in case these bastards go invisible, he is going to cast Fairy Fire right on this point over here so that if it succeeds, it'll land on these 2 at least.
Go ahead, I'll put that spell in chat.
Yeah, that's okay. Boop.
Well, they both
Damn.
succeed.
Damn it.
These things
shit.
are... They're still... Everything's getting a +3. There's something wrong with my thing. They shouldn't have a +4. They still succeed, but...
Okay.
Why all the monsters are getting a +3?
Alright. So all of these corpses are going to light up with a very, pale white-blue sort of light. And the creatures are decidedly not. And Sulveran's going to just frown and presumably probably just draw his mace since he's already cast a spell and he's not in range.
Is Uba also in range to get hit by this? Is Uba glowing?
You do need to make a dex save, yes.
Okay.
Because it does not discriminate against the friendly fire. But you are
Cool.
glowing
What
with
color
fairy
am I?
fire.
Well, Sulveran just killed Uba. How is your dex save plus 11? That's crazy.
That's insane. So instead of just shrugging at the fact that he lit up the corpses, Sulveran is going to call to...
Why are all these dex saves getting a +3? There's something
Yeah, I was gonna say
somewhere.
mine shouldn't be that high. Mine save is +8.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna
everything's
say-
just adding a +3?
It might. I don't know if
Yeah.
an aura thing is on that I can't turn off.
Weird.
but it's for the monsters too,
Yeah.
and our attacks. Yeah, there's a universal +3 in the system right now.
No, that is Uba's correct. Bonus, I think.
No, mine's only a +8, I think.
No, on your attack is
The attack is correct, yeah. It's the saving throws
the
are
attack
what's
is
messed
correct,
up, which is
yeah.
why I keep thinking it's with Medea's thing, but I can't find something on the sheet.
But it's also not initiative. It doesn't affect initiative.
Yeah.
So
Very.
just remember that saves have something funky going on.
Yeah. I will.
Yeah.
Except for some.
And that's Sulveran's
Yeah,
dex
it's not
save.
mine.
So messed up.
Wait, I thought. Oh no. Oh no! All of them are gonna have advantage against Upa.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Light.
If you wanted to, you could have placed it in a spot that didn't hit Uba, which I'll allow. Probably could have said that
Yeah.
a minute ago.
All right, I'm okay with that. Yes, if we do not.
Because I don't
If
think
we do not
Sulveran would have
target
done that,
Uba.
and they know the spell better than Charlie.
Yes, probably true. I appreciate that.
All right, they still succeed, so that is a slightly wasted spell. All right. Is there anything else you want to do in your turn?
I cannot effectively attack. I do. So because it's usually not a question with Silver, and I don't know this yet. How do you run like drawing a sling since it's a one-handed? Does it take a full action?
It's an item interaction, as long as you're just doing the one thing one time.
Okay. So yeah, since he's still out of range, he can just idly draw his sling and attack the one that Uba is attacking. And it's a very sort of idle action. Like,
Well, you just cast a spell, so you can't pull it out and then attack.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, I thought I did both. I had two plans in mind. One was a bonus action spell, and the other was this one. So the one that I failed with.
Got it. All right. We'll move on to the creature which Uba had just attacked. It's their turn now.
How tall is the basement?
It's pretty tall. It's probably like 10 feet up.
Okay.
10, 12 feet. Not like a vaulted ceiling or anything, but it's big enough that these creatures can stand. They probably couldn't be like on their tippy toes or anything like that, but they're kind of like almost on all fours anyway. This one is going to let out a cloud of toxic spores.
Peter.
Which is just going to hit Uba. It's from the creature.
Okay,
So
so
Uba, I need you to make
a
a con save.
Okay.
Aha! At last, Sulveran's weak strength and plotting
Right.
metal
you
armor
are
base does not hurt
poisoned.
Neat. What does that do?
You're going to take 1d10 poison damage at the start of each of your turns. You can repeat the save at the end of each of your turns. But you also have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the effect ends. All right, so that's its action. The next one's going to go. This one is going to move out to here, seeing all of you, and is going to let out a screech. I think pretty much everybody. Not Uba, but everybody else to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Alveron or
Great. So the thing that it won't add a +3 to, I have a +3 to.
Right.
Okay. That actually makes me save it. That's
Well, I failed.
All right. So those of you who failed are stunned until the end of the creature's next turn.
oh.
Damn.
Right, so that's its action. So Medea and Will, you two are. Oh, I need a roll for.
No, Medea passed because of the +3. It's just
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Will and Ort. Two of you failed.
Damn, Ort.
Yeah,
Ortru's so bad.
Can't roll. Crap. Yeah, even with that +3, that's terrible. All right. That's its turn, move in action. It's then Alveron's turn. The creature's in your face. It's getting ready to attack you.
Yeah, basically. Okay. just remembering, like, item interaction is drawing my sword. The item interaction that I'm able to do.
I mean, I kind of assumed you had your weapons out.
I had stated I had the short bow drawn earlier. I was just trying not to mess
Okay,
around.
yeah, you can
on
switch that as like a free thing as long as you're just doing the one.
Okay. Yeah, so I will just do that. Rapier's coming out, and then just making sure, yeah, no one else is around. Do have sneak attack technically. I love swashbuckler,
Yeah, sure.
and I will make my attack with the rapier.
All right, go ahead.
Have swash.
That is a hit.
Okay, and then I will add the sneaky beakies.
Right, for total 20
Right.
points of damage. You stab up into this creature, kind of catching it in the side of the neck. Looking at you with
Alright.
narrowed eyes now.
I
This sort of
take it.
strange ostrich-like head.
I don't really have a place that I can retreat to. So I'm gonna just stay right here and just all right, yeah, and I'll save any further action from this point. I'm good to go.
All right, this one is going to stalk forward, kind of filling up this space, and is going to make 2 attacks, one with his beak, one with his talon at Uba. Talons, then beak.
That's a lot of dice.
Okay, well, the first one is a crit, so you're going to take...
Damn.
Is that 38?
3. Yeah,
Holy
that's correct.
shit! It
You're
rolled
gonna
a
take...
7, a 9.
I just
nine,
rolled a 7, a
10.
9, a 9. Let me open that on stream.
That's
So
fucking
you can all
nuts.
see. I was like, is that damage right? Nope, but that's correct. Yeah, you're gonna take
Neat.
38 points of damage as this talon just like dives into your chest, almost kind of breaking through your chest cavity, pulling out bloody. It goes to beak you, but you like frantically scrabble away. You all see Uba immediately go to bloody from this one attack.
Wow.
Medea, it is then your turn.
I'm going to move here. Okay. To attack both. What to do today? I think I'm going to just make 3 attacks. The 1 and actually no, I'm going to use Vow of End on me. So I'll give myself advantage on attacks against it.
Which one? The top one?
Yes. And then I'm going to make my 2.
I always forget what I'm using for this. All right, those both hit.
That's it, like up. And I'm going to add some might. These are fiends, right?
Yes, that's correct. So they're going to take an extra D
Damn.
whatever. D8, I think.
So I'm going to add a first level and second level one. So that's going to be 3d8 plus 4d8, so 7. Wait, no, it's going to be. So starts at 2d8. So yeah, 3d8
3 and 4.
plus.
What you said.
Yeah. This 4d8 radiant. 39 points on top.
All right.
32 plus 39.
This
Holy
creature
shit,
is
the holy
then
power.
immediately bloodied as you step in, stabbing at it. A light kind of glowing outwards from the glaive as it kind of looks to back up a little bit, but is unable to get away from your blows. The other two look at you and start to they seem to have focused in on you now.
I will dance.
Will, you are stunned. Ort is stunned. Uba, it's back to you. Now kind of slightly surrounded.
So if I'm looking at this right, can I like skip attacking and disengage? Is that something that I can do? Okay.
Yeah, you can take the disengage action and move.
Okay. Let me see how far away I can go. Okay, I can basically make it all the way back to Ort, so I think I'm going to move here. And then that would just be my whole turn.
Rabbles backwards. Right.
Yeah, I think that's all I can do since that is my action, right?
You can use your normal movement again if you want.
I think moving there is probably the best, so I'm gonna skip my turn.
Baron, it's back to you. Uba scrabbles past you.
Alright, give me just a second. Sorry, I sat down again. That leg cramp is brutal. So Sulveran is going to watch Uba scramble, bloodied past him. And he's the only. They're the only one that's taken damage, right?
Yes.
I think so. Oh, actually, I just realized, do I need to roll a d10?
Yes, you should. I'll roll the d10. You need to make me a con saving throw.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot that I was poisoned.
Take 4 points of poison damage. And you were still poisoned.
Blech.
Alright. So yeah, Sulveran is going to take a large step backward, enough to kneel briefly next to Uba and cure their wounds. And you said 38 you took? You look bloodied?
38 plus the
Alright.
3 that I just took.
They're down 41 points.
Okay, yeah. So
Oh,
you look like crap. Alright.
42,
Hold
actually.
on.
I did bad math.
Yeah, so Sulveran is going to go ahead and third level your cure wounds there.
Oof.
Nice.
That's a
thank
nice
you.
healing. That's all. 6, 8, and 7
6
for 26.
If it was only 6.
That helps so
But-
much.
Yeah.
Right?
And so as he does that, he is going to just kind of like, I'm assuming you're not on the ground, but he's going to just haul you up straighter and kind of indicate the battle again. And then he is going to turn with the rest of his movement and let's see. Hold on. Double check. He can still close on this one. This one was the one that you hit, Medea, or was it this one?
This one.
It was the top one.
Okay. Yeah, so he is going to close kind of right up here so that next time he can attack, he can do so thoroughly.
All right. This one's going to go.
The thing trapped in a corner.
A little bit. It is going to move up, however, and it is going to make a screech. Yeah. So I need Medea and Sulveran. They can't all do these things a lot, but this one hasn't done it.
Oh!
Oof.
Right.
Natural
Sulveran,
one.
you are stunned until the end of the creature's next round. Medea, you are once again fine.
Once again, our clerics are garbage.
Good godliness.
That's what we're here for.
Right.
The
The one next to Alveron. Going to move to here and release a spore cloud.
Ugh, not again.
These things are
Does that
Annoying.
count as it like disengaging?
No, it's
At
just.
At least I got out of the range of the
It
storm
hasn't
cloud.
moved away from you, so it's just kind of shifting around the battlefield.
Okay.
Well, Port succeeds. We need Alveron to make a roll. Uba, since you're already poisoned, you don't have to make it again.
Oh, good. I don't get double poison.
You don't get double poisoned.
Failed both. You just
All right. Alveron also succeeds, luckily. So actually, not that bad. That's his action. It moved a little bit. Alveron, then you again.
All right. Sneaky beaky. Go.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that is a miss, unless you can
damn.
got anything.
I don't think I don't think I have bardic inspiration or anything. So
No. All
that
right.
all I have is the aid.
You step forward, trying, fighting through the cloud of spores that's just been released. But the creature is still flapping, and it seems to also have a tough hide, so you're kind of not able to pierce through it very easily. This one is then going to go. It's going to step forward, kind of looking over Medea, and is going to make a couple attacks against you.
one misses.
One of them hitting.
Second one hit.
You take 14 points of slashing damage as it brings its talons down on, breaking across your chest. All right. Its turn. We're back to Medea.
Try and kill them.
All right.
I'm going
Both
to
attacks
throw
hit.
first single first level smite on that first hit. Is that enough to kill it?
Is. So it
This
steps
is the
forward, flashes down on you, and then you kind of strike it twice. This first one radiating energy as it falls in a heap.
Does the first one hit with the, or does the first one kill with the smite?
No, you did need the spike.
And then I'm going to move forward and use my bonus action attack on that. Just no. Does that hit?
Yes, so the 28 does hit.
Okay. And then
So
I'm
that's
going to
a
add another 3d8. So it'll take additional 16 points.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
Will, it is now your turn. You are freed from the stun caused by the screech.
Okay, I'm gonna move to here first. Get out of here, ruler. And move to here. Then I'm gonna crippling indecision, and like we saw last time, there's just this quick surge into Will's like eyes, and then you see all of these like calculations, like how much blood is on Uber, like how Alveron is standing versus this thing, the one that just died, and all the Will's like thought process just emanates across those two. So it's a 40-foot cube, so it can hit.
Sure. Go ahead and I'll put the spell so I can.
I don't know why I made a roll for that. Who knows? It's a DC 17 wisdom.
They both fail because those plus 3
So
shouldn't be there.
They both have -2 to AC and Dex saving throws. Can't use reactions. You can either do an action or a bonus action or both. It can't make more than one melee or range attack during its turns. If it tries to cast a spell, stuff happens.
Okay.
And then, knowing that this one has been affected, we'll just like walk over to here. Like, that's
Okay.
difficult terrain, right?
Yeah, but you can still. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah you still might there.
Just vaults over these bodies and like what at the whole room.
Hmm.
It kind of
and
like
then
goes to swipe at you, but it's clearly like.
And
Yeah,
then
you can.
I will shout to Uber. Uber, it's best you're covered with their blood, not yours. I can give you bardic inspiration.
Alright. Fort now free from this. It's going to go. "Rah! Rah! Stupid demons. Taste my blade. And it's going to.
What's his stupid song?
Like it disappears from his sheet every time I open it.
That's what's giving the +3s. The sword has entered the mainframe.
There we go. Alright. He hits. That's kind of crappy damage. Longsword striking out, dealing 8 damage. He is then going to bonus action. Weapon, or spiritual weapon, rather. Place it right there. Which also hits, dealing 7 points of damage. Alright, Ubat, you're up.
Or it is calling out initiative, such as his connection to God.
Yeah, so
Or it's like Deadpool, but like on a very limited scale.
which one of these creatures are bloodied, if any?
Neither. They both look to be similarly injured.
Okay. I think Uba's gonna cast Searing Smite. Neat. Okay. And then I'll do my
Okay, so that will go off on
double
your attack.
action. See what we have here.
Yeah, that hits. That also hits.
Oh, I think they both hit, so I'm just gonna save the bardic inspiration. So let me do 2. Would it be 1?
It would be 2d6 and 2d8.
Okay.
Sorry, not 2d6 because you don't.
No.
You
It
did
would be
Searing
2.
Smite instead of moving Hunter's Mark. So yeah, 2d8.
2d8s. Okay. Plus 2 on each hit because it's a fiend.
Did you cast Searing Smite at 2nd level?
No, at first.
Okay. Why outputted the damage twice? I guess for the.
I think it's outputting the damage. Yeah.
Okay. So 29. 31 points of damage to this creature as your dagger kind of flashes in. The first one kind of radiating fire outwards, but each one kind of making the creature stagger backwards. Slowed as they are by their indecision.
I got you. And let me do I have to do my con save.
That one is now bloodied. Yes, you do need to.
And I...
That's a
Should
success.
you have had disadvantage on
you
those
should have had
attacks from
disadvantage.
poison?
So go ahead and just roll one more with disadvantage because the 18 would have hit.
Okay. Is disadvantage control?
Yes, that's correct. Control click. All right.
No.
So I'll take off the 8 and the 4.
And I
Give it
think
back
also
12
you
hit
need to
points.
roll a d10 because I was poisoned at the beginning of this turn. I'm not anymore, but
Take 4 more points of poison damage before you're able to shake off the spores, coughing them out. It's then going to be Sulveran's turn. Actually, you're stunned.
He's stunned. Yeah.
It's going to be the Rock's turn. This one's going to step over its fallen companion.
It was the one that was further from him, right? The one that's still alive that stunned him.
It doesn't
Or
really
was it the one that
matter.
was close to him?
It's at the end
Okay.
of its turn, but it's not a concentration or something like that. So it would
Okay.
still. I will end it on its turn.
Got it.
All right. But that's a good question. It is slowed, so it moves up, kind of like looking about, trying to decide if it should move to aid its companion or attack Medea, or move to aid its companion. But finally, it takes a talon attack at Medea. Just completely whiffing. You're like clearly know what it's about to do. It's completely telegraphing all of its actions. And you're able to easily bat away its. The other one's then going to go, has much the same problem, but is going to try to attack Uba, who it knows to already be wounded. They don't have disadvantage, right? It's just only
Just
make
one attack only.
Gotcha. Uba, this one, it manages to focus itself a little bit better, and it does deal 19 points of slashing damage to you.
I'll cutting words.
Okay.
I will say, you're so slow you can't even hit a dead body. Probably. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
bad at this today. I got the vaccination.
Go ahead and roll your D8.
At least you have an excuse.
Don't roll a
Uber,
1.
what's your... Okay, don't roll a 1.
All right.
I rolled a 6.
It like hesitates for a moment, and what would have been a deep gash across Uba's shoulder instead just hits air. And then it's going to be Alveron's turn.
Will is
Alright.
just destroying all these birds' confidence in themselves.
Hey,
Try to take advantage
they are fiends.
of its faltering concentration. Let's see if this goes any better.
Can they give these fiends?
That is a hit.
Perfect. And total damage of 23.
You stab it. It pulls away, still like one wing flaps, but you can tell it's very wounded at this point.
Perfect.
One's dead, so we're back down to Medea. The one in front of you is like glancing about the room, a little bit confused in the head fog.
You'll never guess.
You're gonna attack.
Factory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attack. I'm not going to smite. I'm just gonna let that damage roll.
Okay.
There's nothing particularly impressive about it. I feel like there's almost like a sympathetic face to Medea as they just continue to chop down this creature.
Yeah, I mean, this thing's
Like-
kind of standing there a little bit like, not sure what to do, so you're able to just like fly through it.
Medea's just like sort of like got this very solid stance and a tilted head, awkwardly staring at it, and like a strange moment of like battlefield empathy and understanding.
All right. Back around to Will. Your spell seems to have been supremely effective on these creatures. What do you do?
Firstly, I'd like to make an Arcana or Religion check to know more about these creatures.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I feel.
Whichever one.
I'll do Arcana then. Obviously, it's 5 better. 26.
Let me pull up the thing, because that's a really good roll. Okay. So these things are known as rocks. V rock is how it's spelled. They are dull-witted, capricious fiends that live only to create pain and carnage. They resemble a hybrid of a humanoid and a vulture, and they stink. They like to gobble humanoid flesh whenever they can, stunning their potential prey with an ear-splitting shriek, then swooping down to attack with beak and claw. They can shake their wings to release clouds of toxic spores, both things you've already experienced. They covet pretty things, and they'll turn against each other for the chance to lay claim to cheap jewelry or ornamental stones. Despite this, they're difficult to bribe, seeing no reason to bargain when they can simply take from your corpse.
Okay.
There are low, mid-level fiends, often kind of scout scavengers sent ahead to sort of soil discord when being used in like an army fashion, but oftentimes they will just go out on their own and mostly attack like farmlands and smaller villages, easy, unsuspecting prey that they can fight easily. They usually won't stick around in a battle unless they're cornered, which they seem to be here.
All right, I will begin humming to start sowing discordant dysrhythmia in one away. The one that Medea is standing next to.
You can also tell that these ones seem to be weaker, as you know normally they are resistant against magic, which these ones don't seem to be as such.
Oh, well, armed with that knowledge, I'll still cast discordant dysrhythmia on that Medea is fighting. I'm just going to cast it at first level.
Makes sense. They're both very bloodied. Right, so wisdom save.
Is that not output?
So that's a fail.
Then it,
17.
if it's alive,
Oh no,
runs away.
I'm sorry, that's actually a success. Meet or beat.
It takes
Actually got a 17.
7 points.
Right, its head kind of throbs. It's like, rah!
It continues to have its moment of like not understanding. I'm not gonna use any more bardic inspirations.
We're just gonna step over to here to stand shoulder to shoulder with his magical hammer. Die, fiend! Sword.
With the -2 from
Just barely missing still.
stupid or terrible clerics.
It's just the fucking worst.
Sorry, no, that's actually wrong. This sheet is slightly. No, that does just barely hit, actually.
Great or best character.
The more we
Amazing.
bitch, the more we hit.
The more Andrew realizes that a +6 to attack is like.
Yeah, I was like, that's not right.
Did
That's
he
not
hit-
his real bonus.
Should he have just a +1 to his damage?
Yeah, his total bonus is
says
+7.
Yeah, does he not have more than a +1 to?
No, I imported the sword quickly again, and I think it is set up slightly wrong. But I'll just add it in my head. So he has he's got a +3 strength mod. So
Okay.
and the sword is +1. So I think it's not adding the strength mod properly.
The
that's
+3 from the sword is in the matrix. I'm telling.
It also does a little bit of fire damage, you've seen previously. He's gonna say, "All right, and now for the finishing blow." And spiritual weapon.
What often sounds like a roll. Like just struggling.
It just sounds like he needs a hug.
All right, killing the creature.
At least he didn't say, and now for the finishing blow, and then
this.
whiff.
Hit himself in the face with this.
It's then Uba's turn. There's just one of these creatures left, still looking about the battlefield, stricken with fear now. Not just indecision, but fear.
Okay. If that's the case, Uba is going to run over towards the last creature. Over here.
This is the one that gored him, right?
No, the
I
one that
think it
gored
is,
Uba
yeah.
is dead. The one,
Okay.
this one.
Oh, okay. So this one still has Hunter's Mark on it, which is good. So Uba is gonna cast Searing Smite one more time. Do-do. And then, am I still at disadvantage when I roll for my attacks?
No, you're no longer
Okay.
poisoned. Good question, though. Okay, that hits. That also hits
Can I use-
thanks to
Oh,
Will's spell.
okay. Yeah, so that plus. Oh, Lord.
It's like
Okay,
super dead. Roll the 2d.
2d6 is.
2d6 and
Yeah.
2d8, but
Let's just see how dead it is. Plus 2 for being a fiend.
6 plus 10 plus
2 twice, because you hit twice, right?
10 plus 4. 47 points of damage in these two blows. As you kind of pounce on the creature, stabbing it in the neck, bring it out, and stabbing it in the eye. Falls down in a heap. The battlefield falls silent as you stand victorious.
That was fun.
I think Uba's gonna yell, woohoo! And then probably kick the body of the rock.
Will is, as soon as the fight has ended, probably walking, or like moving forward to kill the last one. Will is like already started moving back up the stairs to retrieve Keller.
Right. Everyone's kind of like doing various things, but you head back upstairs. Kella is like peeks out as you approach and moves up to you and says, "That was pretty loud. I could hear it.
Right.
Whatever was down there was really loud."
Will notes that and says, "All right. Well, we should both stay up here and keep watch then. I suppose these things stink really bad. Bunch of dead bodies down in the what I assume was the crematorium or something of this Mordain temple.
Yeah, the bodies didn't really have a smell to them because they're mostly bones by now, but the creatures stunk real bad.
Also, Keller is 10.
Yeah.
Will says, keep a lookout. Heads downstairs to tell the others. I'm going to keep watch there. Apparently, if you fight any more of these, I'll be able to hear it. Bye-bye. Will just walks off. to silence.
Art says, "All right, so seems like it's just a org or something. Here we go now."
I think Uba is gonna start. I don't know if they would have known that these things hoard small valuables, but Uba wants to look around and see if there's anything valuable in the morgue.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'm bad at these. Yeah.
You're kind of looking about, begin moving over bodies. Dusty down here and a little bit warm in this stale room. But you do find some coinage here and there.
Presumably, for a few seconds at least, everything in that zone over here would have still been lit up, perhaps easing that search.
Yeah, it's hard to search for something notable when everything is lit up. You do find a small stash of what seems to be electrum. There are 25 electrum pieces in this small stash, which one of them was sleeping near to.
Okay, cool.
Given that we saw these things issue off spores, can Sulveran collect any of that for later investigation? Because he finds himself more interested in herbal things, but spores seem interesting.
Sure, you could make I guess an herbalism kit check or nature.
If you do nature, Uba could point out where they think the spores are to give you advantage, or where it would store the spores.
So I think that would be be reasonable. Sulveran would probably nudge Uba and indicate what he's trying to do. A bit of a different harvest he's going to suggest, and
I'll let
then
you
he'll
still
go ahead
make an herbalism kit check. Uba will be helping out with nature, but you can make it with the herbalism kit.
Alright, and so I'm proficient in that, but I'm just going to roll the straight d20 and then add the proficiency bonus.
Yeah, so it's going to be +3.
Yep.
You have advantage though, so roll again.
Yeah, I am. No, it's not better. My advantage rolls have to be within 2 of each other. It's the rule.
Okay.
Only disadvantage gets a spread.
Only disadvantage. Okay. You kind of go up to these creatures, look about. You know that the spores are in the wings. Uba will point that out just by the way that they had been released when you saw them. And their wings are full of spores, but you kind of looking about the equipment, you don't see an easy way to collect it without getting the spores all over your body. And you think that that's probably not worth it.
Alright, yep. Sulveran is going to head up.
Alright. Who is
I
it?
think that
Or is already following you out, saying, okay, let's get out of here.
so the only people that are left are Uba and Alveron down here.
Alveron is
I'm
leaving
going.
as well.
Oh, okay. Can
So
Uba
and
before
Medea,
Uba,
I guess.
can Uba potentially look around? They don't really believe in like the benefits of gods, but at the same time knows that their symbols help protect against demons. Can they look around and see if there's like a symbol of Mordain down here that's not destroyed that they could take?
Yeah, you could just make a perception check for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably
You
not.
still
Casting
have,
your
you
eyes
still have
about the
bardic
room.
inspiration as well.
Yes,
Right?
Oh,
You didn't use
could I
bardic
use that?
inspiration.
if you want.
Is it a D8?
It is Dave.
Yes.
13.
Oh.
Casting your eyes about the room, you kind of don't really want to go digging through, opening up these mains to do that. But you do spy a piece of a chain hanging in one corner, and as you approach it, you see a raven, a small iron raven pendant is on it. Kind of grab it and pocket it, or put it on, as the case may be.
I think Upa will pocket it because they're not going to try and attract the attention of Sulveran, but they're like, just in case this might be handy, even though I don't actually believe Mordain would help me, but just in case, maybe the demons will.
Pocket that and then begin to head up. Will you see Ort, Sulveran, and then the others with Uba heading up last will come up to you.
Nothing interesting?
Nothing besides smelly corpses.
Uba shakes their head.
I need equipment for more variable harvests, but
I didn't really like Temples of Mordain. Bad memory.
Will, like, somewhere, I think, in her brain, realized that maybe asking Ort to go to a Temple of Mordain was not that nice, but didn't realize it before now, so we'll just play innocent and be like, oh, didn't know that. Let's go to the Temple of Sil. Maybe we'll find something of more use. and then we can head further around to. It's the next thing up from here.
Was that staircase the only thing in this general temple?
There is a back area, like there's entrances leading out to. You kind of glance over that way. What seems to be a graveyard of some kind, mausoleum. You see headstones, various other things.
I think Sulveran is just going to, as he exits, he's just gonna slap the shield, the emblem on his shield, just like a light pat, and as he puts it back on and heads out. He doesn't seem any particularly interested in lingering there.
Okay. As you guys begin to exit the temple, you all start to hear the sound of howling. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Is it reasonable to say before we left? I didn't get a chance, but could I have dropped a lay on myself real quick before we get into the next thing?
Sure, that's fine. You can do that instantaneously. I don't see why not.
Did you say that was on yourself?
Yeah, do you need any to? I definitely give it. How much do you need?
Uba's gonna try and heal themselves because they're.
While this conversation is going on, I'm gonna mute and throw us on the break screen. See you in a little bit, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. So, you guys have just exited the temple to Mordain, and you can hear the sounds of howling, the same sounds that you heard in the night previously.
God damn it.
So, it sounds to be coming from. You guys have just. Okay, sorry about that. It sounds to be coming down the street, down this kind of main thoroughfare from the temples. You guys are kind of standing in front of the Temple of Mordain. What are you doing? Or it says,
At a glance, how fortifiable does the Temple of Mordain look? Is it full of holes?
I mean, there's a number of holes, but there's also 3 entrances. Because the back isn't like super. There was a wall there, but the wall was not like solid around the graveyard. So you're kind of defending 3 entrances.
I think Uba might pipe up and say, I think we need to get out of sight as fast as possible. If these beasts are anything like actual wolves, maybe going back to that disgusting room with those dead creatures would throw them off our trail.
Would we be able to shut the stone doors?
Stand.
There aren't any doors.
Uh,
None of the doorways in the temple have actual doors on them. The front entrance,
Oh, I'm sorry.
there
I thought you
were
said the
doors.
one over the stairs. Gotcha.
There's a doorway, but there's not a door there.
Do they seem to be actively honing it?
You can hear them barking, and it's getting closer.
Medea's going to quickly hurry to the stairwell.
Can I rolled for the Hellhounds last session, and I feel like I got a good roll, but I don't remember. How intelligent are they? I didn't write down this information for some reason. I just wrote Hellhounds.
Sure. More than a wolf, but not like person level.
So even if they heard the screeches and knew where the screeches came from, they wouldn't necessarily piece that together.
What do you mean?
So if they knew that the Vrox were in the Temple of Mordain, and they were hunting for us, and they heard those screeches, so they therefore knew that Vrox had caused the disturbance. Would they know to check the Temple of Mordain? Are they that level?
I think
I'm happy to make another roll.
I think even a intelligent dog would be able to piece that together.
All I've ever met are dumb dogs, so I will stand by your understanding. All right.
So that's assuming that they knew that the rocks were there and the rocks made the sound.
I think Will turns to the others and notices that Medea's already run off to somewhere else. And it's probably like, we maybe don't want to stay here. They'll know to check because of the enormously loud screeching of the rocks. But now we have to find Medea.
Medea said
Medea
they're going
probably.
to the base. Yeah, Medea. No, they're heading to. They're not going to go down, but.
Okay, so Medea is heading towards the temple, we'll say, because this is how pretty quickly. So they're like at the temple to the entrance of Mordain, heading in. Or is saying, do we really want to go back in there? There's all kinds of places to hide.
Will nods. Says, we could duck into any of the other temples that we haven't already been in.
I think Uba just...
Oh, wow, we were gonna go to the one to Sill. Let's just go there.
Did Medea get out of sight? Did Medea
Medea has moved to go to the
this...
entrance, but isn't away.
Hasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So
do we have time to get to the temple?
Well, they're definitely going to come to this temple. So we either fight them in the middle of the road, which is fine, or we fight them in the temple, or we go to the Temple of Sill and we get there and maybe they don't go
Yeah,
there
let's
first
get-
because they
try
can
the cell.
Yeah, Upa
Wait.
says, "I've changed my mind. Let's go," and is about to take off, and then realizes that
Oh
they
no,
don't know which
Uber's
one.
protagonist walk in.
Medea will say, if we stay here, we can use the base for the choke.
Sure, it's just if we stay here, we're definitely fighting. So
Yeah.
if you're willing to say that we're never going to avoid them, then let's stay here.
All right, you have
And
talked for so
we'll leave
long,
it up
you
to
can
Medea.
see them coming up the road. At this point, they
Well,
have
no,
spotted you.
Can we
Well-
outrun them?
They can see you off in the distance, anyways.
Hmm.
I think Uba's.
Will, you do not think that you would be able to outrun it.
Hey, that's accurate, but offensive.
And you definitely know that Uba and Ort cannot.
We have tiny legs.
All right, let's go into the Temple of Mordain and fight them. And we'll ducks
Okay.
towards the
You
temple.
dip back into the Temple of Mordain. The group of you kind of hurrying inside.
Sulveran's going to jerk his head towards if there's any space not quite in the stairwell. Ambush the predators if they assume. He doesn't necessarily want to go down into that cellar, not knowing what is coming, if it's just the wolves or something else.
There's a lot of shadowy alcoves in here, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of rubble and jet alcoves. There's definitely places to hide out of view. I mean, if somebody's searching for you, they're probably going to find you eventually if they know that you're in here, but you can hide behind there when they enter.
Let's hide, and once they're in the room looking, ambush them there.
Yeah,
Uba-
I can. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Uba.
I was gonna say Uba just gestures at Kella and says, "What about her?"
I've got a rapier.
I look after Kella. It's fine. I'll just stay hidden until all of you are getting eaten by hellhounds.
Uba rolls their eyes.
To use the basement stairwell as a point.
You could. It doesn't seem like everybody else wants to do
I
that.
don't think Sulveran wants to go back down into the basement, right?
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Sulveran wouldn't stop Medea, but he's not going to put himself in a choke point underground like that. He just, when Medea stops and starts to go down there again, he just shakes his head and steps back into an alcove without any explanation.
Okay. Those of you who
Alright,
have
well-
decided to hide, make stealth checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uba's gonna pull up the hood on their cloak to get advantage on the stealth check.
Hello. I will not be taking part in this fight. I've decided to just fade into non-existence.
Will,
But Keller needs one as well, right? Do Keller and Will get a group stealth check?
yeah, you two.
So if
can
Keller
do
critical
stealth
fails, it's just
together.
an average stealth.
Kel does okay. You two are well hidden. You've parked yourself. I'm not going to use a map for this one. We're just going to theater of the mind it. Two of you have parked yourself off in the far left corner from the entryway, kind of behind a set of fallen rubble that kind of masks you very, very easily down over there. Sulveran, your kind of hulking form isn't able to hide very easily. You're off on the opposite side of the room from them, staying behind the not really behind anything, but just kind of in an alcove off to the side there. Alveron, you have disappeared. You're sitting near the entrance, crouched down behind a pot that probably once contained a plant, well hidden from anybody in the entryway.
Can I have popped Radiant Soul as a reaction?
What does Radiant Soul do?
It's the one that gives me the wing damage.
You can't do it as a reaction. You can do it a little bit before, so I'll say that you're going to lose 2 rounds of it.
That works.
And you're not stealthing then?
No, not particularly.
Okay, Medea's kind of standing there.
Just-
Near this, I'm just going to say near the center where the larger statue once was, kind of wings out, hard to hide, pretty obvious. Uba, you are crouched on the opposite side from Will. I also will have Ort make a roll. He should have disadvantage.
Yeah, since Medea pops their wings as Sulveran steps into his alcove to pretend to be a statue, since he's not particularly hiding, he will quickly run his fingers over their brow to give them Vigilant Blessing and give them advantage on their initiative.
Okay.
Ort is standing near Medea, but hiding underneath some rubble, so he's kind of in the center of the. So I'm just going to, for our purposes, pull up some tokens and place you guys in relative positions on the screen that we're already on. I'm gonna go to the home page for this. It'll be easier. A little bit more room to maneuver stuff.
Can we ready actions for when they burst in, or?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to ready. Just let me know what you want to ready specifically.
I'll ready a bow attack.
Yeah, Uba's gonna do the same with their longbow.
Assuming that Sulveran isn't close enough to the door that he could ready a mace attack. Even though it's bonus action, could he ready casting spiritual weapon?
Yes, you could. I don't have a token for Kella, so we'll just know that this little hooded icon, the default token icon, is Kella.
She's a cultist.
Here. I'll quickly do some drawings. So you guys are hiding behind.
Did you bring out a will token already? But I can't see.
Yeah, I did. It's top left. Here. Can you not see it?
I cannot see it. No.
You can't see the will token?
No, I can see everybody else's tokens.
Yeah, I can see will tokens, so.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
let me
That's
just-
fine.
Okay, I could have just deleted. So there's a large pile of rubble right here. This big circle is where the statue kind of once was. Or it's kind of hiding behind the leg right here. Alveron, there's a potted plant. Sulveran, you're in this little alcove.
Where's the entrance?
Entryway is going to be down between Uba and Alveron.
Ready an attack with specific weapon, by the way.
Okay, well, just let me know what weapon. You don't have
The
to be coy about
Javelin.
it.
Yes.
Okay, so ready Javelin action. Anybody else want to ready any attacks?
Yep.
I'm readying the casting of spiritual weapon.
Could I see how many there were down the road when we kind of...
You got a quick glance. I'll let you make a... We'll retroactively make a perception check for that.
Okay.
This is the.
I have to wait for Foundry to reload because I'm reloading it. I can roll it in real life.
I
If
prefer
you
to keep
like.
it all on the table when we
I
can.
was going to do it. I was going to lower my camera down and everything. I've got this pretty
So-
nice shot.
Also, if it
I'm
matters,
glad you didn't allow that.
I switched the spear and the weapon back to spear form, so I can have the javelin of landing in one hand and the spear in the
The thing's still loading. I decided I don't care enough about this information. I'm going to ready crippling indecision for when I can see 5 of them. Got to gamble high. You got to gamble that there's 5.
I just realized I didn't say condition. I'm gonna ready the attack. But someone else has to attack first before I use it.
That's a good condition.
Okay,
I
so
ready
you're gonna
my
ready
attack for
attack
somebody else
after
attack.
somebody else attacks. I've just kind of drawn some extra rubble here and there for everything else that's there.
Andrew, why don't you make maps?
These things are the alcoves, these little box things.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
I feel like
Casting
Ort
third
directed
weapon
us
on
to
a
the
thing the
Temple of
minute it-
Sil. Ort
Because I had a
directed us
map
to
for
the
that?
Temple of Sil because there was a map for the Temple of Sil.
I do have a map for the Temple of Sil, but
We just haven't got there yet.
No, I
We
think
all
that
had
Ort
decision
made.
paralysis.
this is also
from
fine.
We didn't all have decision paralysis.
Or just didn't want to go back
Just-
to the Temple of Mordain, and the Temple of Cordell is farther.
he was convinced it was an awful battle to like try and get to the Temple of Sil or evade.
Or it also was like, we probably shouldn't go back to where they're probably going.
Hey, I agree with Ort, but I didn't. I was saying during the break that I didn't
Right.
have the brain capacity to be like in.
The
It's still
first
not loaded.
2 of these creatures are going to enter. I'm just going to pull them all out. The other ones are kind of trailing a little bit, so they're not going to quite be in combat.
Wish I could move them. So I can 2 of them.
Let me go ahead and let's just. I know you all have ready actions, but since everybody kind of has ready actions, let's just roll initiative first.
Okay.
And then apart from Uba, who has specified how they want theirs to go.
There's no
I
active
specified
combat
mine.
encounter.
Mine was
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna
as soon as
add
I
you
see
guys real quick.
the doorway. It's a very combat-heavy session.
Well, maybe we could have avoided these hounds and then fought whatever was in the Temple of Sil.
But you didn't have to fight the rocks as well.
Yeah, we do seem to be seeking out combats accidentally in this fight in this section.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the rock wasn't necessarily accidental. We knew we were going to
damn.
get a fight.
Okay.
Don't
Good
forget
initiative.
your advantage. Not that you really need it.
Do you want to run them?
Calandra's not going to have a turn. She's just going to be dodging the whole time.
Yeah. If she makes any move to draw the rapier, Will's gonna be like, no.
Don't.
For protection. Not for running at hellhounds.
Oh, I just need Will. Jack, are you in back in?
No, I had to like.
Did you have a ready
control
action?
delete away my. Yes, I am doing crippling indecision when I can see 5 of them.
Okay. All right, so that's not going to go off before anybody else, anyways. Right, so we'll say Alveron, you're first in the initiative, so your ready action will go off first. 2 of them have entered, although you can hear sounds of more behind them. They've kind of popped in, and you immediately step up, take a shot. Go ahead and make your attack roll with your bow.
Cool. Do I have advantage because they don't know where I'm at?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not surprised, but you are at stealth. You did roll higher than
Okay.
their passives.
All right.
That's
So
a hit.
6 and then...
I'm just gonna guess you're just the one closer.
Yep.
So 17 points of damage to this one. The arrow catches it high up in the shoulder as it kind of whines.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Uba, your attack would then go off.
Okay. And since it was ready, is it just one or do I...
Just one, yeah.
Where's Uba? I don't see them on the.
They're right here.
Yeah, I'm to the left of the Hellhounds. And
Yes, that
if
also
these
hits.
count, do they count as fiends too?
They do, so it's going to be 13?
Yeah.
Right, this one is definitely bloodied, as it has just taken 2 arrows on either side of it. I'll do the extra D8 as well.
Oh,
Nice.
right.
Arrow sticking out at the side. It whines.
I think before my turn is over, I'm gonna move Upa. I guess like.
You don't have a full turn. You're just getting an attack.
Oh, right. Sorry, forgot.
Yeah.
So never mind.
All right. Sulveran, you want to do spiritual weapon, so that will now go off.
Yep.
So
right.
the map is roughly to scale, so you could get it to like here.
Yeah, I did calculate it earlier that I could get it to next to it. It
Was it 60 feet?
Yeah, it's a 60 feet.
Right, when you first cast it.
Yeah, and so he's actually gonna cast it right. That he's gonna cast it right here. I think it's in. I can't move it after, but yeah. So he's casting it like kind of between them.
I'll pull your
And
roll.
the one on Uba's side is bloody.
No, the one on your side is bloodied.
Okay, so then he's going to yeah, whack. Whack
Alveron
that fella.
didn't specify which one they wanted to hit, so I just assumed the one closest, but Uba wanted to hit the one that was hit.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that was a 26 to hit, right?
And then this one's just getting pounded on as it enters.
Nice.
It's like it almost falls as almost like sliding in, because these things are like loping in as they're getting shot at and hit. So it like almost trips, but manages to keep standing barely. All right, we'll do Medea's javelin first.
Okay. So, the 3 of them are going to get hit. So the one that's been hit a bunch, the second one in that same row, and then the back one in that row. I will make a ranged attack roll against. So it misses the one in the back, but the other 2 need to make a DC 13 damage. I don't know why.
So the other 2 are just the lightning damage, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this one dies as it is struck.
It's just skewered, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been hit by 4 of you now.
I assume an 11 hit, one on the back.
Oh, I'm sorry. An 11 actually is a miss against these creatures.
No, that one, I only make the attack roll against the creature in the line. The others just make a dex against.
Okay, but the one that you attacked doesn't need to make a dex save?
No, they just
No
don't
worries.
take any.
Okay. Very good.
Yep.
That's strange. All right. That one actually doesn't die. The other ones are gonna.
I'm making an attack roll against the one in the front and middle one. Both take the lightning. So they both take the full 10.
You technically can't. I mean, I'm kind of giving this to you. There are steps here. You technically can't see the one in the back.
Oh, then I would just be targeting all 120 feet back. So all of them would be making the deck save then?
No, it doesn't work like that because it's a line. Technically, you shouldn't be able to hit any of the ones but the two in front. So if you want to change what you want to do, that's fine. I know that the map is not, because it's not three-dimensional and you can't see the steps, but I've described it with steps many times. They're far enough back that they would be down the steps.
Okay. Can I hit the middle one then? Or is that one?
You can hit the two that are in the doorway.
Okay. Then
Well, one of the
I
two.
I will aim behind the right one in the doorway.
Okay. So you do miss.
So that one.
I'll say with the line and the way that they're saying, you will hit the one directly, the middle one, with the lightning still. That will still take 12 points of damage. Or, sorry, 24?
It's
46 from.
It's 4d6.
Okay,
It's
so
just
10. Just rolling extra. Sorry, I know it can be confusing when you're not looking at a map.
Yeah.
Which is why I try to always have them for actual combat.
We pulled a surprise on you.
I knew that they might happen. Like the Hellhounds, might show up in an area where I wouldn't have a map prepared, so I kind of was just like, I'll just wing it, which I've done before. It's fine. All right. Yeah. Are you in now?
Yeah, I'm here. I transformed into a sky god on my camera meeting.
Okay.
Um,
And you're just holding slow, or not slow, but crippling
my
indecision.
version of slow. Which the
But it
thing hasn't gone off,
off
but
yet.
if it's my turn in initiative, I'll do something.
It's not.
But I assumed you're going through the ready stuff.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was correct. Ort is going to fire off a light crossbow bolt.
Andreas, just wanted to check. Did you say originally that this one was dead, but actually it hadn't taken enough damage yet?
It hadn't
I
taken enough
track on
damage yet. Yeah.
Copy.
I
Wanted to
had
make
thought
sure.
that the javelin had hit initially, but it did not. I was confused about the way the lightning worked. But it might die if Ort hits it. Which isn't likely, because he's not super dexterous. Okay, no. Try as he might, Ort's crossbow the bolt flies over the head of these creatures. And he goes to pull out his longsword. We will now begin combat with Alveron.
All right. I will be making a bow attack again. This time, though, I will be targeting this one right here. Are they still not tracking where I am?
No, I mean, you popped up and shot at it, so it knows where you are.
Okay, I just want to check. Okay, it's within 5 feet of it. It was just not far enough away. All right, so this shot will not have sneak attack, it looks like. It'll just be a normal short bow shot, in which case then I will just go for this one because I'm just going to try to get it in this turn. There we go.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Ooh!
You fell this creature as the arrow hits it in the skull.
All right. And then I can use cunning action, and I will take the hide action.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Yep,
Pew pew. Disappear.
basically.
You
Oh,
pop
you.
back down. Up rock. Then it's going to be Uba's turn.
Okay, so just based on this map,
Mhm.
am I far enough away from the Hellhound to Uba's right that if I were to move away from it, it couldn't do an attack of opportunity?
Correct. Yeah, you're 10 feet away from it.
Okay, cool. So if that's the
map
case,
is roughly correct.
okay, Uba's gonna move further away from it. Looks like they can go like just behind this rubble up here, like right here. So they're gonna cast Hunter's Mark first. Oh, just kidding. I don't have any spell slots left. So they're just gonna use their longbow twice.
That hits. That also hits. Go ahead and roll 1d8 for the Colossus Slayer.
This one hit already?
Well, you did damage to it, then you hit it a second time, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, 22 points of damage to this.
Nice.
It is bloodied as it takes these 2 arrows to it.
And yeah, that's it.
These hellhounds are going to lope in. Yeah. Let's go to here. Yeah. So, this is going to run up to Medea.
Takes
They're in the middle.
That cost. So I don't.
I'm sorry?
No, never mind.
Oh.
Realized I had.
Then going to exhale fire breath. So actually, Ort is going to be targeted by this as well.
Oh, shit.
Right. So I need you and Ort to make dex saves.
Thing I'm bad at.
Ort. Oh, you both failed. So you both take 21 points of fire damage.
Shitballs.
Ort's like, fire!
21.
Alright, that's its turn. This next one's going to lope in and run up over to Uba.
Okay.
Breathe fire on you. I need you to make me a dex save.
Okay. Let's see. It might add 3.
You passed
Yeah.
anyways. You even just on the die roll.
Okay.
That's your 8, yeah. You still take 12 points of fire damage. As it, you kind of try to duck behind the rubble, but it singes your back. And then it's going to be Medea's turn.
Just gonna beat the shit out. Not a lot about it. Oh, as my object interaction, I'm gonna equip
Equip your what?
my shield.
Okay.
We're just gonna attack this thing 3 times.
Boom.
The last one is a miss, but the other one's
Okay. So do I throw a smite? Is the question. No, I think and then as well with my movement, I'm going
spell slot.
use flight to just sort of like gracefully fly over to.
Okay, so you're kind of just keeping the spear and everything in its area, so you're not like flying too far. You move to the other side of it to kind of further block them. That one is dead, so I'm just gonna remove him. Ort is gonna go. Ah! Bid hounds. Okay. I'm gonna do that. Spellcaster options. Just went on the game master because it's like, oh my god. He's gonna cast Banish against the Hellhound that's up on Uba.
Are Hellhounds very?
So different plane. Okay, so it's gonna make a charisma saving throw, which it fails. This one kind of just gets sucked in, as vanished, moved to different plane of existence. I'm just gonna delete it from the map.
Wait, oh.
And it is not native to this plane, so it's just gone.
Yeah, banishment's pretty good.
Bye.
I guess
That's
Well, as
Sulveran's
long as
the
he
only cleric
maintains
left
it
to
for a
suck now.
minute.
yeah. If he gets punched,
Yeah.
it comes back.
All right. Well, that one's gone for potentially forever. Well,
I like whisper to Kala, say what Will has determined is pretty much invisibility. What's this in front of me? What's this blue
Just
squiggle representing?
rubble, like a big pile of rubble.
Alright, I'll like vault over the thing acrobatically if I need. And then be unsure of what to do, I guess. I guess I will cast on the one in the doorway. Hang on, let's see if that's fine. Sure. On the one in the doorway, I'll cast Discordant Dysrhythmia.
Okay.
Like, hope it goes away. Yes, at first level. Cast spell.
That is a failure.
It takes 12 and it has to run away. It's full movement.
Ruleset, please leave.
It is going to be
Get out of here.
way over here.
No room for that.
It's just 1,000 like arrows.
Things can't move far. All right. That's Will's turn. This one is going to run up next to Or, yeah, right up to Medea.
Hmm.
Okay, it's going to make a bite, and they have pack tactics. It's going to be with advantage. All right, it hits, dealing you 17 points of damage, 10 piercing, 7 fire.
Okay.
As its mouth, its hot teeth sink deep into your shoulder.
I don't like the imagery of hot teeth.
Then going to be
Just wanna be on
Sulveran's
record as being
turn.
against that.
I am now
Alright.
bloody.
This blue circle around Ort, what does that represent?
Just like a step where it was like a pedestal where the statue was going on, but the statue is no longer there. It's different body parts are making up the rubble on the floor.
Okay.
Wait,
And-
when that one approached me, it the attack.
You're kind of cutting in and out for me. What was that?
When it stepped up, it should have taken opportunity attack. 'Cause all our master.
But you've switched to spear.
Yeah, spear counts for pole arm master.
Okay, so we'll make your attack then.
With it.
Is this the full height wall or what's this purple bit here?
It's not a full height wall, it's roll, so it would be difficult.
Okay. Alright. So in that case, since assuming like I pretty much watched my crew scatter to the wind, I can basically still eyeball each of them since there's rubble here and no full height walls between us.
Correct.
Okay. So in that case, Sulveran is going to step out a little bit, just enough that actually he doesn't, because it's 10 creatures line of sight, and everybody is going to feel as though they are at a campfire. It's it's a pleasant evening. Things aren't terrible. You're not being beset upon by wolves. There's a soothing sense of twilight, so you can take a whole 4 temp hit points since I whiffed that roll.
It's
What's
plus your
your-
cleric level.
It's 10.
I don't think it's calculating correctly. So
It's
So-
not adding it.
so
Well,
10.
I keep forgetting. I'll fix that eventually.
yeah, so it's 7, right? So, or no, 4 plus 6, so 10.
Sulveran's secretly 3 levels below us, and we've never realized.
yeah.
Oops.
Secretly.
Frankly,
Did you want to move it all?
Nah, he's going. That's his action, and his bonus action will be to move this sucker, the halberd,
Okay.
at the one that Medea attacked, and smack it good.
Smack.
There
That-
we go.
I'm getting my ass kicked here, man.
Right, 12 points
Boom.
damage.
Good God.
Acceptable.
Right, this next one is going to lope in to right here. Also,
I will con-
Sorry, go ahead.
no, nothing.
Also attack tactics. Ooh, okay, so you're gonna
Good
take
13 plus 9, so 28.
28 points of damage.
Plus 9, 20.
As these
Yeah,
things gang up around you, desperately biting down on you.
I am now at 3 hit points. Those temp hit points really saved me.
All right. It just has to run away once, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gonna run back.
I didn't realize you were talking to me.
I was kind of saying it to the room. So move to here with its movement.
Shit, they're getting ganged up
Would this
on.
running
Sure.
would the
Why
stairs
not?
take up? Would the stairs take up any more movement than normal?
No. Diagonal movement doesn't take up extra.
Oh,
No.
okay.
It's just all the same here. Yeah, it's weird. I always have trouble with like flight because if you're flying like down at an angle, it should be like way quicker, but it's not.
Yeah.
Because of 5e rolls. Or it is. It's actually even quicker than it should be. So because they're immune to fire, this one's just going to fire breath weapon into Medea through its companion.
Okay.
That's a method.
I go down. Doesn't matter if I save or not.
Wait. I have to look up a thing.
The words that cut.
But also make the dexterity save, right? Because the thing I'm looking up doesn't matter against 24 damage.
12 damage.
I'm pretty
me
sure you
just
did, but I'm just checking
reread
that you
it.
did add your temp HP, right?
I
The
did.
buffer.
Yes. That thing rolled exceptionally well on
It
damage.
did, yeah. They rolled
They all
lovely.
have it. Annoying. Oh, it's pretty gross. What are you taking? 12?
Yes.
Alright, I can't save you. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
If you were taking 9, I might have cutting words it, but
All right.
Yeah.
not for
So if you do go down, you have the option because
Yeah,
Sulveran
go
is
for
just
it.
going to he's not even going to call your name. He's just going to sharply whistle in your direction just to catch your attention. It sounds like a crow sweeping down.
Right. But yeah, you are at 1 HP as Sulveran calls out to you, enforcing the will of their deity. You stand up and you take 1 attack. That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah, you have the choice. You can
Okay.
just like
so you
falter.
could do it or you could not. The penalty is that
Take it.
you'll take 1 failed death save,
Okay. I'll take the attack.
and that is ongoing. It will be permanent every time you fall down. Well, until the long rest happens.
I will make the attack against the one that's taken the most damage. So the one in front of me, I believe.
Yes. I have to check. It's pretty close.
Does 13 hit?
That unfortunately misses.
Okay.
Right. So, but you are at 1 HP.
Oh, okay.
You're not down. Daggering. Alveron.
But that brings you back at 1 HP.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Let me reread it. I always forget how this works.
Yeah.
Even though I wrote it.
I was gonna say that, but I felt
No.
I
I know.
felt withheld myself.
Again. Storm. Do you have it in your sheet?
I don't think so. I don't think I ever had it written in a way that I could add it to my sheet that I knew of.
You have it written on the server in the homebrew channel.
That's a good point.
So what specific thing are we talking about?
Oh no, that's the
Charlie's,
magic shield thing, not the feat.
Charlie's got a feat that lets someone, when they hit 0, come back and do something.
They get to do an attack. I always forget if if they're still down after it or.
Previous I am very confident that they are not still up. Like they go down.
Yeah.
But
that's
also, I thought that it
this
was
has been
but a
done.
full action for it because.
No,
but
it's definitely
been
always
on
been 1 attack.
I just remember from when we talked about it at the start.
Yeah, I had recollected it as like a single action, not necessarily an attack, but an action, but no 1 HP, just the collapse.
I mean, really, this should exist somewhere that is easier to find than this.
I keep every time I'm like, is it in your sheet? And you say no. I was like, okay, I should write it down so you can add it. And then I don't remember after the session, and I keep thinking, oh, they probably did it.
Yeah, I think I just like scribbled it on a sheet after you said it out loud, and I don't think I have I think I remember why I didn't add it. It's because I didn't have a name for it at the time. We were quibbling over the name.
Surely it's just called borrowed time.
In general.
No, Andrew had some terrible name for it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
okay. We talked about it so long ago.
I'm
I know,
pretty
right?
sure that when Uba has used it, because I'm pretty sure Uba's the one that uses it. Uba
Yeah.
takes an action and then topples.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was I've only used it once though.
Yeah, during the
that's
dragon
the
fight,
version.
it's been a long time.
I remember that being what it was.
not even the Grey Dragon fight, during the Emerald Dragon fight.
Yeah.
The last time this got used.
From previous times, I
really.
remember it being a full action, but then you stay down.
I know that when it came up,
It's important enough that I
originally-
want to see what I actually wrote.
Yeah. When we talked about it originally, it was a full action, and then you go to like you go back down. But I mean, I have no concept of why this would even be.
I hate doing this, but like I want to double check.
So Medea, you're impervious to shadow. Right? Just checking. You're impervious to shadow. You can't be damaged by shadow for some reason.
No, that's not correct.
That would be nice.
I wish I was. Would be nice. Dying, but we have Revivify, so I'm not super concerned.
That's true.
The name of it is.
We have two clerics.
I can find that. The name of it is In the Face of Death.
Okay.
But you can't find the text of it?
No, because Charlie mentioned it to me separately. Talk to people so much. Why do I talk to people so much?
Fire Breath is so strong for like a creature of that level. Like 66 is an action.
It
It's
raises
basically
their
just
CR
like
by 1, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this feels like it's like we're definitely punching above our weight dealing with both of these encounters.
Yeah, but again, they were both largely optional encounters. Like,
Oh yeah.
which is why it's
I
interesting.
did find
like,
free action confirmation.
Yeah, it's only free action. We've talked about.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We've talked about like clarifications for it a couple times, so it's hard to find the specific thing. All right, I'm gonna look it up later. Here's what we'll say. Most of the people seem to agree that you stay down, but it's a full action. So you can go ahead and make the other 2 attacks, but you will be downed with 1 failed death save.
So I only get to make 1 more attack.
yeah, because it's a bonus action.
Correct, because you don't do a bonus. Okay, that one hits.
Does that hit? Okay, I'm going to smite with it, and it's an additional 6 points of radiant as well. Because of the feature.
Mm.
So 3d8.
I think you can't smite with this.
Uh,
But a smite's a free action. It doesn't. require
I know that.
anything.
It's still
Just
an
rewriting
extra
it.
thing, and I feel like this is not the sort of thing where you can do that kind of stuff.
Here's my question for you: would you let Alveron sneak attack?
Yes, but that's conditional, not activatable.
Would you let Hunter's Mark activate because they haven't fallen unconscious to lose the version yet?
They would not get Hunter's Mark because they fall unconscious, then they get back up to do the attack.
All right. I still think that you should just let them use the resource of smite, but it's your game, and now's really not the time to be
Sure.
in discussions
Because
about.
my reasoning for this is that technically you're not, like, this is almost not even a conscious thing. Sulveran's forcing you to do these attacks.
Oh, that completely changes my interpretation of this.
I thought it was like that anyway.
It's
but
like the spirit of Mordain kind of almost like in the moment where like the boundary line is happening is like making the body do like lash out very quickly.
I
All
like the
right.
idea that you can't access another god's power to smite because Mordain's power is like what's piloting your flesh corpse.
Yeah.
That's a
So-
funny one.
And also, we might have a talk about, the slight possession of a party member.
there's-
You have to
Or-
like the reason
Yeah.
why you have to
Pretty
accept
intense.
it is because you have to like, in that moment your body is like, okay, I'm allowing this to happen, but you're not really in control in that moment. You're letting that take over for you for a second to make those attacks and then go unconscious.
Yeah,
You're
well,
passing
that
over the
is-
reins.
That is just 20 damage instead. 6 of it radiant.
I think that's a good choice also because your smite damage is terrible.
Yeah,
That
homebrew
makes
feats,
that
guys. This is why they require discussion.
Homebrew feats that nobody wrote down or has
Nobody
any
ever
access to.
wrote down. It's written down. I know it's written down in one of these discords. I will
Yeah, I
physically
did not
write
see it when I
down.
was
Also,
scanning through.
I
things.
wrote this originally, just for the record. I wrote
Yes,
this
and then
week.
then
Then you tweaked it.
we
so I don't
tweaked it
even know what-
around and stuff.
All
I
right,
sworn it
save
was in
Medea,
your sheet,
kills
but
with
it's not.
hellhounds.
I feel like this is like the third
Well,
time we've had this
that is-
discussion.
It is.
We're gonna hammer it out.
Sometimes you take 18d6 of fire damage in one round, of
Alright.
combat.
That happens when you're the target.
Now it's Alveron's turn.
Yep, this is the one I'm going to be targeting with the sneak attack, popping out of hiding, and
It's probably not really going to matter because you're probably going to kill the rest of these things. Most of them are pretty
I would
low.
hope. Ooh,
Well-
that's a
What a
roll.
roll.
Okay, that misses unfortunately. You don't have
That is
bardic
so annoying.
inspiration, do you?
I'm gonna get you like +2 weapons just for all these times you.
Well, I mean, the rapier is usually fine, and the rapier I think is a plus somewhere on it. But the short
+1,
bow,
isn't
I
it?
have nothing. It's just raw dog and just regular old arrows. Sorry, that's maybe not the verb I should be going.
It's okay.
Just
Uh,
raw dogging people
Would you
with a
like
short
to
bow.
move?
I will take the hide action again. Sorry, that's come back into my vocabulary because we've been in
I
Philadelphia.
don't
We've been
know
referring
why.
to people not wearing masks as just raw
Ah.
dogging the air,
Okay.
and
It gets better.
Also, if it's okay, I would like for Medea's, like, as they fall back down from Sulveran's thing, to just, like, there's, like, a faint yelp of the word help as they finally fall back down again.
All right, Uba,
crunch. Help.
try to help. This is like okay.
Such a weird fight.
Oh man.
Uber just stabs all of them.
God, the stairwell would have been so nice right now.
Is it?
Not fighting these things would have been better than the stairwell. Just like if we're ranking things that would have been good.
Yes.
Sorry, I interrupted you, Marisa.
Oh no, you're fine. I didn't realize that it was my turn for a second because I got distracted by
Hmm.
the
The raw dogging.
those descriptions. Yes. Okay. So if I used my breath weapon, could I attack with that twice, or can I only do that once?
It's an action.
So
So
once.
That I am very
Once.
confident on. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna do the longbow again, twice.
You should probably change it because I feel like it could just be an attack, but I've definitely written it out as an action.
Okay. Cool. If that's the case, twice. Do.
Good lord.
Yeah, so that's on the one that's to the left of Medea. And +2 for being a fiend. Also, is that one hit? Can I do Colossus Slayer?
Yeah, there are. Sorry, wait. You're talking which one again?
The one to the left of Medea. Yes.
This one has not been hit. If you want to change targets, I will let you.
Uh,
That's,
Which one has been
that's the only one that hasn't been hit. The rest have all been hit.
okay, I'll hit the one that's on
You would know
Medea?
these two are bloodied. This one has been hit. This one is fresh.
Oh, okay. I'll hit the one that's below Medea then.
Okay.
And
So that's. Do you have Bardic Inspiration?
no.
No.
1 hit, 1 miss. But that creature dies.
Hooray.
Oh, the next one could just outright kill me.
They don't have that many. Actually, no, that's true. Because it's 2 down.
Uba really wants to come and help you, but knows that they would get their shit rocked while they're still
Don't worry,
here.
revivify.
Yeah.
Alright.
As long as Sulveran doesn't die.
And we got another cleric. I'm sure Orange
yeah.
is revivifying.
One of these two clerics has got to like be able to do something.
This one's going to move over to Uba and
One of us has to be useful.
make a bite
Well,
attack.
no, it's not relevant. No,
No.
it's not relevant.
I mean, or banished one, so he's definitely useful.
Alright. Uba, you're going to take 8 points of damage.
God damn.
Medea, I
Uba's
need
actually
you
doing
to
pretty
make
well.
a death saving throw.
Alright.
Yeah, has that even cut
Lord.
into Uba's temps?
It's been a long
Uh,
time.
it matters. It matters too because I don't get my aura as well, so I'm just raw dogging this death save.
I'm not okay with that becoming part of
This is entered into the vocabulary.
It's part of the parlance.
Okay, how do I-
Official Imris slang.
On the sheet, it's just the big skull. Your character art.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright. It is a fail,
9.
but it's importantly not a 1.
Yeah. That was the one. Fuck.
Fort is going to rush over. We can't lose you now, Medea. Get up! And he's going to drop 3rd level cure wounds.
Rude healers for the win. Still nice. to
Not the
still
best,
nice.
but you still heal 15 points of damage. And he will bonus action.
Thank you.
Never mind, he can't do that. You know, a spiritual weapon up already.
Why does it still have a skull icon?
What's his turn?
Me?
I'll take it off.
I got it.
Yeah, there we go. Will, it is then your turn. Anything else to do?
I would like to mutter a thank you to Ort.
Yeah, no problem.
Will looks around and begins that really Gathite like low healing word, and I'll cast it at level 2 to hit Uba and Medea. Yeah, for so much 6 healing.
Woohoo.
You each get back 6. Not terrible. And then like almost casually, nobody's really looking at Will right now, but she just like reaches down to her hip and pulls a dagger and just throws a dagger nearest. I think she probably needs to step there. Like she can throw daggers. It's not a big deal. She never does it.
Guys were like,
But like she can, and she gave her rapier to a child.
Sulveran, was that a misclick?
Did I click something? Yeah, it just
Something.
when I was switching my tabs, it clicked.
That does hit. You do 3 points of damage.
Yeah, she's not terrible at throwing daggers. She just doesn't feel the need for it, and she only has one.
Catches the hell out of the shoulder.
So she throws that. Not
Growls
that.
at you.
She could throw 2. She's never had the opportunity.
This one's dead.
If she felt like it, she could potentially.
Sulveran, it's not your turn. So there's only 3 hellhounds left.
All right. Is it the bottom 2 that are bloodied?
No, it's this one and this one.
Okay. Okay.
I had a moment where I was like, I thought there were 6 of them. And I was like, all right, I deleted a token because banishment.
Right.
All right. But this one is intact. The one next to Medea still.
Has not been hit.
Okay. In that case, I think Sulveran is going to step forward, and he's very deliberately attacking the one that is near Medea, trying to draw his attention a bit. He feels bad because he did hear Medea yelp, help. And so he is going to Sacred Flame it, or attempt. That's a DC 16. Yeah,
Okay,
so
Fails.
yeah, so he's going to whistle again, and unlike the really commanding whistle to make Medea stand their ass up, he's just pointing, and he's pointing where that statue used to be and directing it at the wolf, a hellhound. And you said these other two are bloodied?
That's correct.
All right. So yeah, he's going to just hit the bottom one with the halberd.
Oh yeah, do these things seem particularly vulnerable to radiant damage?
They don't.
Okay. You've realized how bad that is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Nice.
All right, that
I
one.
still-
Not quite. It very nearly dies from this attack.
Damn. Yeah, he's just locked eyes with the one next to Medea, and he's just.
I'm to continue getting my shit rocked.
This one going to use its breath weapon
Oh boy.
on the two of you. Ort also needs a dex save.
I go down again.
Jesus.
These things have not rolled.
Hold on. I might.
Ort
I'm
succeeds.
trying to work out how cutting words works on a damage.
I think it just was reduced by the die roll.
So it would reduce it for both targets.
Can you even use cutting words on you? Let's read the spell. Or
When a creature you
not
can
the
see
spell,
within
but
60
the
feet of you makes an
effect.
attack roll, an ability check, or damage
I
roll.
think it had to understand you.
No.
No. I don't believe so.
You just so rarely use it on damage because you're better off negating the whole thing. But like, if I'm doing it on an AoE, it's doubling the use of the Bardic Inspiration dice.
Right.
Yeah,
Ability
so
check
it would
or
do
damage.
for everything.
Alright,
For both
well,
of them.
I'll do it because it will reduce a lot for Ort, and it might keep Medea alive.
So close.
I am exactly down.
Well,
Right.
tried.
But
No.
Ort only takes 21 instead of 26. Which is good.
Ort
Ort is
passed the
bloodied.
Ort saved. Hang on, Ort saved.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he
Oh,
say?
that's correct. Yeah. So let me add back 21 half
takes
10. So
Takes 5. Yeah.
okay. He is still bloodied, but not quite as much. He can heal himself anyway.
Suppose I'll take off another Bardic Inspiration use.
All right.
Mhm.
Attack this one. Oh yes.
And Sulveran that's been rocking its shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay. Helps. It's going to run up to Aaron.
Ha.
Right.
Did, in fact, get to draw a little bit of aggro. Whoo! Not haha.
11, 19, 26 points
Right.
of damage to you.
All right, so in that case, yeah, Sulveran is just going to bow up a bit and turn to meet that blow with his Stone's Endurance. It's There we go. Hold on. Come on. Because I've got to fix from that misclick. There we go.
Kobold misclick.
You reduce it by 5. It's
Yeah.
like hobbling over to you, clearly on its last legs, but it still manages to leap up and bite you in the shoulder. Your stone's endurance manages to cushion the blow slightly, but it sinks deep in, and you take quite a bit of damage. That's its turn. So now we're going to be back to Alveron.
And so it was total, you said. I'm scrolling up. Okay.
Do the math.
I found it.
21. No.
Is that 26? So
Yes, 21 then.
21. Okay. Oh, well, it's plus my con modifier, so
Okay, well then, whatever.
19, yeah.
Andrew, I just want to make sure I'm tracking. Did you say it was this one that had only recently taken the hit?
That's correct. The other two
Okay, yeah, then that's...
are much
Oh,
more
go ahead.
wounded. This one has 1 HP. I will just tell you all that.
Gotcha, yeah. I trust
it looks
Sulveran to be able to
very
handle
good.
that,
Yeah.
but
Sulveran
I want to
is
kind
like...
of take some of the heat off over here.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll make my attack on that spot. All right, come out of hiding.
I think this is the first time one of you has used a bow for a protracted amount of time.
It definitely is.
That definitely hits.
All right, and then get that in there.
All
20
right.
points of damage.
You sink an arrow deep into its side, hitting some vital organs as it... that one is now bloodied. Or it is still standing.
Good, and then true to form, I will pop back into the shadows. I'll give you that
Hitting
stealth
again.
check.
I should really be making you move, but that's okay. Uba,
Why
this
change
is your
it?
turn.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know how you were able to draw a cone like that, but if I used my breath weapon, it would be just shy of Ort. But would it hit both of these two?
You could. It's in the ruler tool. I draw it because though it's attached to their attack. It's 15 foot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could angle it in such a way that it hits both of them.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try that. And we decided that I can only do it once, so I will do that.
What kind of breath weapon is that?
It's thunder. So
Thunder.
Uba's going to shout, leave them alone. And as soon as they say alone, like this like loud boom just like comes out of their mouth and hits them both.
So one of them, the one closer to you fails, the one farther succeeds. So this one takes 9, the other one takes 4. As your thundering breath weapon radiates out from you. It's then going to be the one next to you's turn. They... Alright, make a bite attack. Missing you. Yeah, just barely missing you. The armor, your leather armor, managing to blunt the bite attack. Gave the damage. Medea, can you make me a death saving throw?
I can. Oh.
Ah, there you go. Natural 20. You
Alright.
stand up at 1 HP. I have had this happen so rarely. I forget if you get to make your turn. Or if it's just that you stand up.
It's whenever you start your turn, you make the roll, so yes. I believe.
Only 120. Whenever you start your turn with 0 hit points, so yes, you do still get your turn. You're at 1 HP. You are on the ground, but you can stand up.
I'll use half my movement to stand up. I'm going to beat the shit out of the one that tried to kill me.
Right.
Mhm.
But make your attacks.
Alright.
Miss. Hit.
Hit. And that one's going to take 19 plus 48 radiant damage.
Why is it 19?
Because of the +6 from the level from radiance.
Oh, right. You just don't have it on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So that's next. It's 29 points of damage.
I'll let you describe how it dies, since it's wounded you so.
Medea just stands up and like looks to Ort and is like, "I'm bad at thank you," and then just decapitates this thing in one swing, and then just looks back and says, "Does that do?"
You never needed to thank me, but that's appreciated.
And then they kiss.
That would be a turn. Ort is then going to. All right, this is enough. Enough is enough.
Cast a 9th level wish for this fight to be over.
9th level bedtime.
9th
So,
level
I mean-
monologue for 10 seconds.
Ort says, "I need to maintain my sleep hygiene."
Since we have 2 kobolds here, do we have pack tactics going on?
Oh,
Please.
Fortunately, I removed that from kobolds because it's hard to play
No.
with.
Ah, darn.
Although adding it in maybe just for other kobolds wouldn't that be that bad. I'll have to think.
Uva
Would
or
Ort
just
have it?
forming something would be so funny.
He
like
will
to-
then cast spiritual weapon. It's not quite dead. Actually,
Fine.
yeah, why not? He just wants it.
I wonder if that one hellhound we banished is going to come find us for killing all of its friends and packs.
Not quite.
It's going to be on a different plane of existence. For a
Oh,
while.
I should have had Ort make 2 con.
Ah, Sarah,
Oh,
why?
yeah.
Sorry, let me make those real quick.
Dude.
Okay.
No. Oh no.
Well,
You know what? Let's
Wait.
ignore it. It's already way gone. I don't want to deal with it at this point. It's like because it would have happened like several rounds ago,
Yeah.
and that would have like changed the whole combat. That's my bad. I forgot. We'll move past it.
Okay.
Mordain protects Ort in this scenario from the
Like, I
from the
maybe
concentration.
Mordain is just like, hey, no, it's not coming back.
Yeah.
Will
it
start.
can get out of the teleport shield, but it can't get back through with banishment.
There you go. There you go. It
Is
pops up
Mordain-
like outside the city limits somewhere.
It
forgot to ask.
reappears 1,000 feet in the air.
Yeah,
Does Mordain notice us, like, at all in her temple?
maybe.
It's a desecrated temple as well, right?
Yeah.
Just not
they're
consecrated.
one of their clerics is here, so they could be watching, but you would have no way of knowing unless they
I mean,
intervened.
Mordain's probably paying attention to you right now.
I like to imagine that was her intervening for us killing the squawks.
Right. Will, go ahead. This one it's on its very last legs.
Which one?
This one's dead. Sorry.
The one next to
So what-
Sulveran isn't dead, right?
Oh, that's true. There are 2 of them.
like 1. It's got 1 hit point.
I will. Do I need to even waste a spell to keep Medea alive? It never worked.
I mean,
I'll healing word again at 2nd level, hitting Uber. So many spell slots. I don't know why I'm worried
I was
about.
gonna s- Is this just for me or is it for Medea too?
It's for both.
Oh, okay.
you just cannot
Um,
roll above a 1 on that.
That's all right.
All right.
And then I will I guess because I'm so bad today at thinking of vicious mockeries, I'm not going to vicious mockery.
Okay.
So I'll just run up and try and pick up the dagger and stab it.
Right.
Nice.
Stabby stab. I don't even remember where weapon attacks found. That's
It's in your
how
Yeah.
rarely I
inventory,
use.
usually.
Yeah, like what? I'm in spellbook. What? I assume a 12.
A 12 misses. It manages to just barely move out of the way.
And then I'm just gonna. No, I'm gonna leave. I'll take the attack of opportunity. That's
Okay.
fine. I don't want to be standing next to that thing.
It misses.
I missed. I'm basically just the best fighter. That's what I learned.
Go ahead, Sully.
Okay. All right. So the halberd is gonna go. I think if it's there, it should still here to attack that one. And probably missing.
Just
Maybe?
barely
Does that hit?
misses.
Barely misses, you
Just
said?
barely, yeah.
All right. And
Their
then
AC is 15. You've been playing them for long enough that I can tell you that.
and then let's see. With his Word of Radiance. I can't remember if these have taken con saving throws recently or if their con's any bit good, but whatever. We're Word of Radiancing it.
It has 1 HP, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but that I just have to hit it. That's the problem.
Oh, it's a saber suck.
Yeah.
Even if it saves.
That fails.
Yeah. So
Right. Blasted by that.
Sulveran's
Sulveran's
little the ocarina that he wears around his neck that is suspiciously vertebra shaped just lights up. And as soon as I described that, I thought it sounds like an Iron Man attack, so maybe that's not what happens, but you know. All right. So, yeah.
Good, because that one was about to go next.
Yeah.
No.
And I think he's just gonna saunter over with his last his movement after it's dead. He's gonna saunter over to corner or not in range. That's further than I want to go. It's
Right. Alveron.
Yeah.
One left standing.
Yep. Yep. And I think you can put together what I am thinking of. Quit biting me, please. Sorry. The cat is apparently bored. All right.
Hey, stop playing.
Damn. I
Just
don't
barely
think that'll
missing.
hit.
You rolled so many 13s.
I know. Life is pain.
All right, Uba. Finish him.
Do it.
All right. I guess I'll use my dagger twice.
All right. How do you want to kill it?
Oh, okay. I don't even have to do all the other math.
It's got 2 HP.
Uba's. I think at this point, Uba is like just really done with this fight and says, I don't know. They don't even say anything. They just like grab the wolf's head and then like shove their dagger up through like the bottom of its chin, and then they just let it fall on the ground.
Out scrambles for a second, like with its feet flying on the stonework. Slows and let it go. Dropping out on the floor. You look over the battlefield at all these dead headhounds, your companions in various states of injury.
We should get out of here and move to the Temple of Sil for some kind of recovery.
I can I can do a prayer of healing if we want to take some time into a short rest.
I think it's best to do that at the other temple, not here.
Get someplace
idea.
safe, and then we can do the healings.
Why don't we go
Sulveran's
back to
gonna
the Temple of Cordell and close those doors?
following.
That back to the pedestal.
Oh,
I think we'll.
by the way, the
Yeah, I think we'll. If we're gonna do a short rest, we'll party to the back room with pedestals and closes the door because it looked like the demon like in there.
that's smart because we've already scouted there, so it's probably safer.
Hmm.
You all, I clear this junk. You all retreat, back to Temple of Cordell.
I will sing a song of rest.
On the way out of the Temple of Mordain, Sulveran's going to like turn and look at all the mess and an offering, I suppose. He's going to say that in Gathite before following the rest of them out.
Dude, some of these HPs are all wrong. Uba, do you remember what you were at?
I was actually full at the end.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Shockingly, yes.
But shockingly,
From
I
all the
healed you
healing, I
twice.
guess, yeah.
That's true.
I
yeah.
thought you had taken more damage than that.
I mean,
No,
you
didn't
started
take a
with-
lot that time.
Yeah, temp, and you like had temp HP too, and
That's true.
Yeah.
there's lots of stuff, lots of HP dumps.
Right. Well,
Feels like a good place to stop. The same room we
yeah.
started.
I guess in that case,
Yeah.
Orc won't do prayer of healing. I don't think he would think.
What? How much is Song of Rest?
A D6.
Just one D6 once.
One extra D6 if you use a hit die. Nothing if you use a hit dice. Yeah, it's not very good. I mean, it's better than nothing.
Just terrible rolls here for HP. Really off.
Oops.
I will also attune to the braces and take off my armor.
Yeah, I will attune to the helm.
So this
Well,
is
while
just
we're
a
doing this
short
rest,
rest, right?
rest
Not a
phase.
long rest.
Yes, you guys are short resting at the moment.
Everyone sees Will like shrug off her big coat and then have like leather armor that kind of comes down to like her mid bicep, and then under that like a silk white bolt wrapped around her arm. She takes the armor off, just like wearing a sleeveless white shirt and this white bolt, and her other arm is clear. And she just like puts the braces on and then shrugs back into.
Right.
Cool.
As you return to the Temple of Cordell, you make your way back into the secret rooms, sealing the doors as you go to try to ensure some safety. And you begin to sit and rest, recover your strength.
Medea just takes a fucking nap in the corner like a depressed
Yeah.
cat. Like the whole fight by the end, they just looked like they went from like distressed, terrified to like a day worker who just got out of like a 14-hour shift.
Damn.
What's this? Well, at least we killed some demons, so those hellhounds might not be around anymore.
Probably someone will notice that those hellhounds aren't around.
That's true, but they probably also already noticed the rock screams.
What time of day is it?
By the time that the short rest will end, it will be like not dinner time, late afternoon. 3-ish.
I'll ask Ort at the end if he has the spell slot for create food and water.
I do. We still have supplies though, don't we? Should I really use a spell slot just for that?
Are we gonna long rest here?
I didn't think so.
I don't think we're going to rest for the evening here. I think we should investigate the and then maybe go back to the house we were in yesterday.
Yeah,
Um,
perhaps.
Circle around the other side tomorrow instead of continuing this way.
I agree with that
That makes
plan. They'll might be, if they are looking for us, they'll probably be looking for us over here, not over there.
That makes sense. I would like to, before we leave, if at all possible, also check out the Temple of Alamein.
There isn't a Temple of Almain over here.
Oh,
I think I
wait, you
said
said
that
there was...
at the very beginning. Last
Yeah, the
session.
Temple of
Yeah.
Alveron somewhere else because it's like a.
Fuck, yeah, I just had it written down. Temple of Alamein special.
Okay.
It's over near the tower, right? Did you say?
You are not sure where it is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Right. As you all bed down for your short rest, that's where we're gonna end. Very good. Nice combat heavy session, guys. Yes, Jack?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We've done.
This
Do
is
I
different.
learn anything else about the braces when from attuning to them?
I will message you.
Great.
Do they-
Secret information, my favorite.
Do they protect...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I make a history check on where the temple might be in the city?
Sure. Well, we'll do that before that.
I think
Yeah.
Will also told you that it was Alamein was Niniel was like the favorite of Alamein, so like it was the queen of the Eltar.
Okay. Okay. I'll also consult Will about it if Will is okay with it.
Yes, Will reiterates that Alamein god of choice of
can have
Niniel, and Niniel is
advantage.
the chosen of Alamein.
Right, too.
22.
You're gonna guess it's probably gonna be one of the larger structures that you saw, because it's probably a library, and from what you remember, it's gonna be a very large library.
Okay.
So it's probably not in this area. It might be over by the tower. You don't remember enough about it to remember if it's it could be the tower itself. You somehow think not, but it might be that large building off on the other side that you saw.
Okay.
Now, as you bed down to rest, we will end today's session. Thanks everybody for coming out. Hope to see you all next week. I'm excited to get back to it. This will be a girthy dungeon crawl. So, and you guys, I'll just tell you now, you're gonna level at the end of this, whenever that is. So,
nice.
Well, let's end now and then walk back in.
not at the end of this session, but
it's very
whenever you
girthy,
get back.
Andrew.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Raw dog.
Raw
day.
dog in a
Girthy
girthy
session.
dungeon. All right. We're gonna end on that note. Bye.
Oh.